Alrighty, it is showtime. We should be on. Welcome, everyone. We are testing a little bit of a new setup this evening compared to yesterday. So I just want to make sure we're all good here. So if the folks in the chat, for those of you who are joining us live, thank you so much. If you can hear me okay, give me some kind of indication that you can. Addie, if you can hear me in the chat, give me some indication that you can hear me. Excellent, all good. I hope I sound better this evening and you guys can hear me. Oh shoot, I need to hit pause on our little thing here and we will get started. Oh, we're so back, folks. We're so back. Okay, so you guys can hear me. Addie can hear me. I think I have this figured out. I spent a good hour and a half or whatever this morning trying to get this worked out. I also want to make sure that you guys can hear the game. So I'm going to turn the game volume up a little bit because this game's music friggin' rocks. So I want to listen to it too. Sweet. And then I'm actually going to turn my own volume up just a wee bit. Alrighty. So we should be able to. Steve's eyes looking maniacal. No, don't worry. I haven't even had my Red Bull yet, boys and girls. And everyone else. We're having a Red Bull in between the 4 beers this evening, so we've got things to do. JMB, you, me, and Brady could be playing Vermintide too. You know, you're not wrong because I actually do have that game. But anyway, I digest. Welcome everyone. Thank you for hanging out. If you just came a little while from came over from Ken's stream on the Blathering, I hope you enjoyed everything that went down. We had some great calls. It was a lot of fun. I'm always very grateful for Ken for having me. It is great to have you guys here. I'm rambling a bit because I'm still just getting some stuff set up here and making sure everything's all hunky-dory. But I think we're in a good spot. So we're going to play some games tonight. We're going to play RimWorld. I'll give you guys a quick recap on where we're at before we get started. But this is episode 1. So we're kind of moving now. Episode 0 was the real testing ground, and it was a little ugly, but we got it moving. I appreciate everyone's patience who hung out. That isn't the best work we've put out, but we're here now, and I think we've got some better setup and some better technology. So I'm excited for that. So I'm gonna get the call link here for the folks. I believe it's the same one. I mean, Addie's in here already. I was kind of wondering how the hell Addie got in here, but it's the same one we've had before. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that up on. So for the record, you guys should still see the game, and then you should still me, and then like a corner of my screen, sort of. That's like the thing that should be happening on the screen right now. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in the chat and paste I'm gonna paste it there. I'm gonna put it in the pin it, so it's up there. Pin message. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. And we're gonna go back to the game. Alrighty. So. Yeah, excellent. Oh, sweet. Okay, so stuff is working so far. Fingers crossed. So what I've got set up now for the game is you guys should see, like, if I go over to the left a little bit, it should almost like look a little weird, like a mirror effect, basically. And so that is because I'm using a wide screen, and a lot of the stuff in this game happens in the left-hand corner. And so now I have it set up so when I do something in the left-hand corner, you guys on stream can actually see it. So it's like a picture-in-picture kind of effect, but you can see how I move around. If you look at like the edge of this box here, it kind of like trips you out. I've noticed just don't look there when it's moving because it kind of makes me queasy. But I'll try to keep in mind that I'm going to keep kind of stuff like in the middle of the screen for what we're looking at. So I will explain the RimWorld action here in a moment so we can kind of get going, and then I'm going to bring Addie on to give us an update on the one musical that I will admit that I actually really enjoy. I am a huge, you guys, I say this all the time. I like Vanilla Ice Cream, I like Plain Potato Chips, I like Luke Skywalker, I freaking love Hamilton. And I'm a basic bitch for it, and I'm okay with that. I couldn't tell you any other musicals I like. I mean, I guess The Lion King, but I don't think I've never been to a musical outside of like school functions. But Hamilton was a great COVID reprieve for the wife and I, so I'm not afraid to admit it, so come at me. Anyway, we are going to get moving on with that. Let me know if the in-game music is a little too loud too, especially when we bring Addy on. If it's kind of like overpowering, I can turn it down a little bit. But it's nice having some ambiance. Brady said, "Oh, here's the next thing I want to test." So here we go. So I've got. Eventually, we want to free ourselves from the shackles at our StreamYard, right? So I'm not even. Let's get really nerdy, like really quick, right? I promise this is for like 30 seconds. So I'm still streaming everything through my own OBS, right? But I'm using StreamYard for looking at the chat and having people call in, right? And I'm going to be pumping the audio from StreamYard into the stream. We're going to figure out if that works in a second here when we bring Addy on. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to click on Brady's comment here, and it's going to show in StreamYard for basically, I think Addy's the only person that sees that. But if I do a little something, you guys still see the game. If I do a little something like this, now you guys should see Brady's chat message on stream on YouTube. I just want to, is that happening on YouTube? I feel so damn smart right now. I'm making it a little bit bigger. Yeah, I know you can see like me twice right there, I think, but I'm working on that. We're working some kinks out still, okay? But yeah, that's a start. That is a start, and then I can boom hide it right there. And then I can make it go away. So we're working some kinks out because I'm trying to get to a point where I can kind of utilize the things from StreamYard that I need and everything else I can do on my own machine as far as recordings and all sorts of shit for that. So I'm set up for that. I'm not really worried about that for tonight, but I am going to do some tests for that. So everyone who's here is just awesome for hanging out with us and having the interaction helps me kind of figure this stuff out. And as I do more of it, we're gonna be able to do more fun stuff. And I just realized I don't have like two of my lights on, so you guys are gonna get the shady cam real quick. Let's check in on the pooch. Where's the pooch? There he is. There he is over here. Well, where is he? Where is he? We gotta bring him up. We gotta bring up the pooch. We gotta bring up the pooch. Oh, the pooch isn't plugged in. That's the problem. Hold on. Gotta plug in the pooch cam. Gotta plug in the pooch cam. I'm sorry. This is very important work. Before we get back to the work here, or the work at hand on the farm, so to speak. So this is Blathertown. I'm gonna do a little bit of our RimWorld lore here soon for those of you who don't want to suffer through what is episode 0. We've got 3 folks in our space colony that we've crash landed on this planet. Also, we have some Star Wars mods installed. So there's a Rebel Alliance, a Galactic Empire, other random factions existing on this planet, going to be coming in and out of our area that we can interact with. Friendly, hostile, however we choose. Our 3 people are all Force sensitive. We learned in episode 0. And usually it takes a little longer to figure that out. But all 3 of them have awakened in the Force in some way. And our Wookie friend Little is the one that we're kind of running with as far as being our most, apt Force user. We have a lightsaber in our inventory that does not have a kyber crystal. So kind of our big goal at the moment that we're probably not going to achieve for a little while, but that we're going to be really excited about is, can we find a kyber crystal for this lightsaber? Because once we do, we're going to be able to give it to this Wookiee or Ben Blather or producer Stan, but it's probably going to give it to the Wookiee because that'll be pretty badass. And the Wookiee has some really good melee stats. So now, okay, so this is looking good too on the screen here. I can see you guys can actually see the menus I'm working with here on the left. I noticed last night, like looking at some of the video stuff, I was like, oh man, I'm talking about all these numbers and shit I'm looking at, and no one can see what the hell I'm talking about because it's over here on part that's not getting captured. So I got that fixed, so that's good. So anyway, so that's where we're at with the game. I'll get more into that in a minute, but I do want to get Addy in here to talk a little bit about Hamilton as we get going, and I'll do some of the housekeeping here. And I also want to make sure that Addy get in here works and there's not like tons of echo and shit isn't like totally broken. So without further ado, and Addy, here's the other thing. Since I'm not streaming in StreamYard, I think even if I bring you on the stage no matter what, you're not going to show up on camera like regardless because StreamYard isn't what's streaming. So just want to throw that out there. So anyone who wants to stream, anyone who wants to call in, no restrictions, just hit the link. I mean, if you know, for the record, if you're some random person who just found this on the internet, I've never seen you before, I'm gonna have Jared vet you somehow, and he'll take you into a dark room and interrogate you to make sure you're okay and you don't like say like racial slurs in chat. But other than that, everyone's welcome to come in and hang out and chat. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Addie to the stage and hope to all God that everyone can hear her. Addie, how are you?
I'm fine. Can you hear me now?
I can hear
Can
you
you hear
great.
early 2000s Verizon commercial?
You sound incredible. Do you know what one of my favorite? Or first of all, before I go down this path, I want to see if anyone on the YouTube stream can hear Addie and make sure they can hear Addie. And I think most importantly, I don't think they can see Addie. Addie, you see yourself twice in StreamYard, which is normal, but on the YouTube stream, I don't think you're appearing.
No,
If I have
because
that right.
I'm watching it on my TV.
Oh wow, I'm on someone's TV. That makes me feel so cool. My mommy would be so proud of me. Actually, you know what? I'm probably gonna talk to my mommy tomorrow because it's Father's Day. I'm gonna tell her, hey mom, guess what? I was on someone's TV last night. She's gonna be so happy. That's gonna make my mom so happy tomorrow, Addie. You have no idea. Anyway, so volume's good. That means you guys can hear Addie, but you can't see her. We both sound good on sound wise. I think I did it. I think I figured this out. I know this is so like nerdy and stupid to be happy about, but I'm very happy about this. Okay, so I'm gonna go back into the game here so we don't see that little corner of the screen. And now I can bring up. Oh, thank you for the rubbing of the hands. Oh, you know what? No, you know what I do need to go to, Addie, is Discord because you sent me some great pictures. I think that we
Hamilton
want.
requires visual aids.
Yes. So as I pull the visuals up, can you introduce why you're here today and what you're going to be explaining to us?
So I'm here today because I realized we have not had a chance on the backstage to talk about Hamilton, which is the 10th anniversary of Hamilton, which is happening this year. And the performance that they did at the Tony Awards to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Hamilton. And today, being No King's Day, I felt like was a great opportunity to do that, especially since you, Steve, sent me some great Hamilton inspired signs from your No Kings rally that you attended. Um, and so I wanted to talk about the original cast of Hamilton fully united at the Tony Awards last Sunday to perform a medley of music from Hamilton to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Hamilton and the historic run it had at the Tonys and the historic run it has had on Broadway and all of that. And so, um, but I brought visual aids because it was not just a performance. It was a message.
Okay. Well, I have your visual aid. Thank you for that. That was a great. You did great at pulling that out, like just long enough to get me to pull this shit up. So great job. So
I
I'm gonna
learned from
pull up. I'm gonna pull up your visual aids here, hopefully, and get that working. And then what we will do is you'll just talk me through them, okay? And then we'll comment on each, and you'll tell us what all this means. And for the record, I remember. So I didn't watch this live because I'm not gonna lie to you, Addie, and tell you I watched the Tonys live. But I did see all the chatter about it the next day on Blue Sky. So I did, and I like Hamilton, and it was like a 4 minute video. So I was like, okay, I'll watch, and it was like a cool little medley of all the songs and everything. So definitely encourage people to go check it out after Addie gives us the rundown on what we're seeing here. So give me just a moment, Addie, to change where we are, and I'm going to use my nifty little iPad here to say, look at the stuff on my top screen stream. So now, people on YouTube, you should see a picture of Lin-Manuel Miranda give me the names. What's the other? Leslie Odom Jr. I knew Leslie Odom Jr., but Lin gets me sometimes with the order of his name. Okay, so we can see that's on YouTube as well, right, Addie? I'm a freaking genius. Okay, so all black. That clearly means something, right? Walk me through this. What are we looking at? Right. What's wrong? Someone says they can't hear Addie. Uh oh. I hear you. I've got you pulled up still. You should still. Oh, you know why? Oh, I know why. I know why. I got this. I'll fix it. Thank you, LQ, for pointing that out. I got this, Addy. I got this. I got this. I still hear you, but I didn't add you to this thing where you are able to now. People now the people will hear you. We got it.
Are we good? Are we good?
We're good. We should be. We're good. I'm almost positive we're good now. We're gonna wait to see if someone chimes in, but I'm almost positive we're good now. Thank you for letting me know quickly.
What I was saying was, and I'm just gonna keep talking and assume that someone will say whether or not they can hear me. Okay, we're good. So I'll drop a link in the chat when I'm done here because it's on the official CBS YouTube page, so like you can watch it and not feel like you've stolen anything from Viacom or Paramount or whatever. But so we've got Lin-Manuel Miranda and Leslie Odom Jr. This was the opening of the show, of the medley. It was very good. It was the beginning of the end of Act 1 after they win and the world turned upside down, blah, 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 blah. So it opened with going back to New York, and that was great. Notice they're all in black. I will have more to say about that in just a minute. Slide.
Okay. Sorry, I wasn't ready for the dramatic slide. Here we go. Yes, next.
So then the girls come, they do the Schuyler sisters. It is also great. Notice we are still all in black. And this was the original, again, the full original company of Hamilton, including now Academy Award winner Ariana DeBose, who is a member of the original ensemble of Hamilton. And I just think it says a lot about her that she was willing to come back and not have a featured role in this medley, except as the Bullet, because that's who she is. Even though she is now Academy Award winner Ariana DeBose. But yes, it was essentially what it has been interpreted as, and yes, LQ, it has been interpreted as they're all in mourning clothes. They're all in black mourning clothes, which says something to some of the rest of the messaging that happens, because if we go to Jonathan Groff.
Slide. Wait, that's not
slide. I didn't want to just say slide because I didn't know.
We didn't have a good order for these things, folks. We produced this about 13 seconds before I went live. That's what we do on Backstage. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Jonathan Groff was the only person not in black.
Zoom in on that a little bit. Yeah.
This beautiful red blazer. Famously, Jonathan Groff plays King George III in the original company of Hamilton. And he was the only person not in black. He had a lovely red blazer. Make of that what you will. And also, interestingly pointed out by the internet, he does not actually say anything. His entire part of the melody is the da-da-das that he does during his songs. It is absolute complete gibberish. The king has nothing to say.
The king has... I like that. He has nothing important to say.
He has nothing important to say. And slide. I don't know which way we want to go. We've also got some interesting.
This is a big ensemble. What is this?
David. No. Pull up David. That's the end.
David? Okay. Oh, I think I canceled one. Okay, I got this David. I can get another one though.
So David is wearing a black beret, and also you cannot see it in this one because his hands are behind his back. He has one black glove. David Diggs is clearly a member of the Black Panther Party.
Okay. Well, we can see in the GIF here that I've got pulled up now. I think this is what's showing on the Zoom.
One black glove.
Interesting.
So there's that.
Okay.
Then it closes with Christopher Jackson coming and saying that they are the famous "History Has Its Eyes on You," which then goes into the medley at the end of Act 1 of but as someone again interestingly pointed out on the internet, it is "History has its eyes on you. He will never be satisfied, and I am not throwing away my shot."
Yeah, they ended on not throwing away your shot, right? Or not throwing
They
away my
ended
shot,
on
right?
not throwing, which is how Act One ends.
Right.
But they very clearly, it was, history has its eyes on you. He will never be satisfied. Look around, which is just like a message for right now, especially when, if we want to pull up that last one I told you to save for last,
Oh, I don't remember that one. Shit. Hold on. Let me look at the thing.
the white, it's the mostly white cast photo. The background is
That's
very white.
the background is very white. I was gonna say that's tough with Hamilton. There we go. This
That
one.
one.
Okay, go ahead.
That is the portcullis of the White House.
Wait, what now? Like the backdrop?
Like if you think about the White House with the columns, the famous veranda of the White House with the columns and the lights and everything, it's the White House. So history has its eyes on you. Look around. He will never be satisfied. And they ended with a lighting cue that is the White House.
That I'm just gonna pull up an image here so we have both in the same, not to both sides you, but just to kind of show exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, if you get one at night where it's lit like that.
Right. Oh, okay. I can do that. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I see what we're doing here. Yeah. Yeah. As they say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can see the darkness on the side there, just to kind of show 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. This is absolutely something a Swiftie would figure out, but can't say I'm surprised at
Again,
all.
I cannot take full credit for this. I admittedly did not notice a lot of this during my first viewing. Because I was just very excited about Hamilton in general. Like you, Steve, I am a big Hamilton fan. I listened to Hamilton a lot in 2015, 2016. I was writing my dissertation at the time. I found it very inspirational. There are several Hamilton references in the acknowledgments of my dissertation because of that. Um, so I am a huge Hamilton fan. So I was mostly just excited to like be watching this. Um, I noticed I did not notice this lighting cue, but to be fair, if you go watch the YouTube video that Steve posted in the comments, CBS does not linger on this in what was shown on TV. They cut away to commercial quite quickly. Um, this last shot of the lighting. Um, they also I noticed the black, but I again didn't really think much of it. I noticed AV Diggs in particular, but again, it's the Tony Awards. I don't know if you've seen some of the things that people have worn to the Tony Awards. It was not outlandish to think that he was wearing a beret and one glove and that was weird.
Okay.
um uh
Okay.
the the actor who won best actor in a play um wore a dress. So like it wasn't weird that David Diggs was wearing a beret and one of the ensemble guys was wearing a kilt. Like that didn't stand out to me.
Right.
Um the so I was mostly just like looking for things. I didn't notice a lot of this on first watch, but like I said, with the help of the internet, a lot of this has the it's not surprising at all though, because 10 years ago when Hamilton performed at the Tonys, it was right after Mike Pence came and saw Hamilton in New York and I think walked out because they tried to like read a political message to him about like the Trump. I think it was right after Trump got elected the first time.
Yeah, and
uh,
I thought some cast members held up a flag or did something
yeah,
along those
yeah.
lines.
And they famously opened that Tony performance with the immigrants get the job done line.
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
like
Yes. Yes.
this is not the first time. This will not be the last time. Lin-Manuel Miranda is very openly not for the current administration. Like this is This is not at all surprising, but yes, Cole is a they, LQ. I acknowledge that. I'm just saying, like, having that be the case, I was not at all like, that was not the most interesting clothing choice that anyone made at the Tonys, is what I was trying to say. I am not judging Cole or their choices. People can wear whatever the hell they want, but it didn't even faze me of how Davy Diggs was dressed based on other choices people make it. It's the Tony Awards.
Right.
The most flamboyant people in the world show up to this award show. Like, one glove and a beret is not a statement. Except
so this
it
is
is.
like it's like the Met Gala of award shows when it comes to your attire and all of that.
Sort of. In this case, Cole was paying homage to Bernadette Peters.
Okay. So I know who Bernadette Peters is, but I'm not sure that JMB in chat knows who Bernadette Peters is. So would you like to give us a little bit of a history lesson?
Bernadette Peters is a famous Broadway actress of like the late 80s, early 90s.
Okay.
An original one of the original Broadway divas. Let's put it that way. Not quite a Patti LuPone, but of that time.
Right. Okay.
I think she was into the Woods.
I haven't seen it, but I'm familiar. They did a movie for that, right?
They did. It was Meryl Streep was in the movie.
Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there.
It's Bernadette. Okay, I have to admit that Bernadette Peters Bernadette Peters originated the role that Meryl Streep plays in the movie, which is what I thought. But I have to admit that Bernadette Peters is one of those people who I know who she is, but I also cannot necessarily tell you something she's been in that's going to make you realize who she is.
Okay, fair. Well, at least you're honest about it. So I'll give you that. But
she has a very distinctive voice, though, so you probably know her even if you don't know her.
Okay. Yeah. It's one of those things. Yeah, if you heard the voice, you're like, oh, that person. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So anyway, yeah. So I felt like on No King's Day we could talk a little bit about Hamilton and the amazing work that they did at the Tonys, the subtle work that they did to stand in defiance and appreciate it.
I that's why when I saw that sign that I sent you and I posted on in the Discord and on Blue Sky, I was like, oh, Addie's gonna love this. This is because it also reminded me of what I had seen at the Tony's performance and everything. It was just very timely. So it was perfectly timely. So
yes.
I love that. Alrighty, well, Addie, I appreciate the deep dive into the imagery of what we're looking at, and art is an important thing in times like these, and the messaging that we're putting through art and how we get across I think different ideas and ways to come together. Art has a unique place in that, and this is just another little example.
That it does. Oh, I also just want to I want to point out Cole, I can't pronounce their last name, but Cole, who won Best Actor in a Play and paid homage to Bernadette Peters with their outfit, it won Best Actor in a Play because they are currently playing Mary Todd Lincoln in a play.
Oh, wow. Okay.
About how Mary Todd Lincoln wants to be a cabaret singer. I think is the plot. I think is the plot of the play. It's called Oh Mary. It's apparently very good, and it was they wrote it as well. So Broadway historically a diverse and incredibly welcoming community, and we need more of that in the world.
That we do. That we absolutely do. Well, Addie, I appreciate your insight. I appreciate the stuff you brought to the table here to talk about Hamilton and all the other good things. Uh, we needed that. We needed that. That was a good little follow up to I think the stuff we talked about on Ken's show today. So on the Blathering. So good stuff.
I thought so, but I also knew Ken would never let me ramble about this for this long.
Right? No, yeah. You're not getting.
Thank
You're
you
not
very
getting. You're not getting 10 minutes of musical talk on the Blathering.
Not
Sorry.
at all. Not
No,
at all.
that's what this is for. If Brady wants to break down the 2-3 zone, if you want to talk musicals for 10 minutes, all that kind of stuff, we're gonna do that. We'll do that here. So anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate you hanging out. You're welcome to chill, and I think if we get some people on here, we'll do some wheel action. We can always throw the wheel up while we're playing games. But I'm gonna get back to the Blatherites and play a little RimWorld for a little while and hang out with the people. But I hope you hang out in the chat, and if you've got anything that you need to bring to the table, just let me know and we'll bring you in.
I've got a little bit. I got a little bit left in the tank. I don't know how much longer I can stay awake. I've got a little bit left in the. I saw a really bad musical today, so we're good.
Like in person or?
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. So you had a busy day.
Yeah, I did not go to a No Kings rally. I personally don't feel safe going to things like that. For a number of reasons. So I that's not a bravery that I have, but I support everyone who does, and I applaud you. I went and saw Back to the Future, the musical.
Okay. And it was bad?
It was not good.
Oh man! I mean, so that has to like the Marty and the Doc characters have to really make that. So it's like if you don't buy that guy as Doc, then it's not gonna.
Yeah, work. I want you to imagine the Back to the Future movies, and then I want you to turn them into a musical.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that could be entertaining, but I'm not a musical guy anyway. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear that it didn't work out well. And
I also like. You can bring. I can rant, and you can bring the game back up. But
that's exactly. Addie, I was just turning to the left because I was going to do exactly that with or without your consent anyway. But I appreciate you being a good producer. Hold on. Speaking of good producers, I want to see if my producer cam is working here real quick. No, please go ahead. No, you don't. I'm not trying to cut you off. What do you got?
Problem. This is now a problem that I have had with several musicals that I have seen, where you have taken an incredibly popular movie and you have decided to turn it into a musical. I saw Mean Girls. I saw Mrs. Doubtfire. I saw. It falls into this category, but it kind of does. I've now seen Back to the Future, and the problem that I have with all of these musicals, all these movies turned into musicals, is that I feel like, one, they rely very heavily on you already enjoying the source material. Like, they are not necessarily good musicals that you that you could go into with having no background knowledge of the source material. So with Mean Girls and Back to the Future today, and a little bit Mrs. Doubtfire, I felt like you had to know the movies they were based on, because you did not necessarily get the context for everything that they put on the stage. Like you went from like good scene from the movie to good scene in the movie without like the interstitial, how did we get from point A to point B from the movie that you might have had otherwise. And I think Brady said it in the chat, like, everything doesn't need to be a musical. Oh my gosh, LQ, I want to see Maybe Happy Ending so badly. I would really like to see it before Darren Criss leaves, because Teenage Addie and Darren Criss are an item. Great. Oh, but he's leaving at the end of August, and I am not going to make it to New York before then, so I am sad. But I will likely see it when it goes on tour because most touring productions start near where I live, so I will see it likely then. But I loved their Tony performance so much, LQ. So maybe happy ending is this year's. To not to go on a tangent, but I'm going to anyway, and Steve can kick me out whenever he wants.
Yeah, I'm not kicking. We're about to just play games and chill, dude. I don't care. We're hanging.
The maybe happy ending is this year's best original new musical Tony Award winner. It is a South Korean musical. It is about two personal assistant robots who are like going obsolete, like they've been replaced by new and better models. Yeah. And so apparently when this happens, they get sent to like the robot retirement home. And it's about these two robots who fall in love with each other in the robot retirement home. And it looks amazing. And Darren Criss is the first Asian American to win or person of Asian descent, whatever the proper term is, I'm sorry, to win Best Actor in a Musical at the Tonys. So, yay for that. He's also halfway to an EGOT because he has an Emmy and now he has a Tony. So we just need to get the man an Oscar and a Grammy and he will be good to go. But anyway, not all movies need to be made into musicals. They rely too heavily on you knowing the source material very well because they do not tell the complete story like the movie does. Because they can't. It's a different medium. It's like the rant I have about people who complain about books being turned into movies. And that is not what I said at all, JMB.
Don't misrepresent Addie.
That is
she tried. She tried her best. She tried her best.
I just said the teenage Addie has pictures of Darren Criss on her wall. I don't know, like that's probably not true because I think I was in college when Darren Criss became famous. But Darren Criss and I were an item, and my boyfriend lived in Canada. It's fine.
I was gonna say, did he know that?
No.
Okay, just checking.
And it's fun. The same way that Amelia Clark doesn't know how much Ken loves her.
Yeah. She's probably dealing with that a lot, to be fair. But yeah.
Yeah. It was, and to your point, Steve, we did not have a very good Doc Brown. The guy playing Marty did a very good Michael J. Fox, I will say.
Did he try to do Michael J. Fox, or was it like just trying to do like a Marty character? Like he was trying to do Michael J. Fox?
No, he was not trying. I will say he was not trying to do Michael J. Fox as badly as when I saw Mrs. Doubtfire, the guy was trying to do Robin Williams.
Okay.
But he had a lot of like the mannerisms of Michael J. Fox, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like he did a very good job. The guy they had playing George McFly, Crispin Glover's character, also did a very good job of that. Some of those like really painfully nerdy George McFly awkwardness. But I think it was a very weak musical. Like, I think there's a version of that musical where you don't write a lot of original songs and you just make it a jukebox musical, because like they did some jukebox music, like they did Johnny Be Good, they did The Power of Love, they did Back in Time. Like, yeah, just do a jukebox musical, because none of the original songs that you wrote were any good.
I'm gonna regret asking this. I'm not even going to say the joke. What's a jukebox musical? Like, what is the difference between a jukebox musical and a regular musical, Addie? I don't want to sound too stupid, but
a jukebox musical is a musical that uses music that already exists.
Oh, okay. That's a great explanation. I totally understand that now compared to what it's before.
And usually I think a jukebox musical, I think the catch is that it's usually like a single artist.
Okay.
So, like, Hell's Kitchen is a jukebox musical of, I think it's Alicia Keys songs. Um, I saw a musical on Broadway, like, 20 years ago that was a jukebox musical where it was all Elvis songs, but, like, the musical is not about that person. It's not a biopic of Elvis where they're using all of Elvis's songs. It's just a musical where all of the songs happen to be Elvis Presley songs, but, like, it has its own plot.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. That makes so is Will McLean right here like Mamma
Yes,
Mia? Like
Mamma
is
Mia!
that okay.
Mamma Mia is a great example of a jukebox musical. Rock of Ages is a jukebox musical.
Okay.
MJ, I don't think would be a jukebox musical LQ because it is the story of Michael Jackson.
Okay. What did I just
Across
do?
the Universe is another great example of Svetnik. So the one I saw on Broadway 20 years ago was called All Shook Up, and it was all the music of Elvis Presley. Um, um, I've just drawn a complete blank. I had other examples, but
No, that's okay.
chat
I was just oh shit, I
came through with
don't
great examples. Oh, I saw a great one a couple years ago. Jagged Little Pill, which is a jukebox musical of Alanis Morissette.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's super cool.
But
I
it's
dig
about
that.
it's about a family and like the trials of this family. One of which, like one of those trials being that like the mom gets addicted to opioids. Like it's a very heavy
Oh, that's not as
musical.
cool.
But it's called like it's Jagged Little Pill and it's all Alanis Morissette music. Um, yeah.
Okay. Well, I know now I know a little more about musicals. That makes me feel better. Thank you. I promise I was listening. I was playing with some stuff here on the iPad to
I think
get the comments
yeah,
working, but
I think Moulin Rouge would also technically be a jukebox musical.
really, okay, so well, is that like a because was that like a remake, like the one that like Ewan McGregor and all them were in back like 20 years ago? Was that like that wasn't an original thing that's like been around forever kind of thing, or was that like its first
No.
thing?
So the Baz Luhrmann movie is an original movie musical called Moulin Rouge. That was not based on a stage show.
Okay.
And the only original song in that movie is "Come What May," the big love song between Ewan McGregor and Nicole Kidman. The rest of them are all pop songs
Okay.
that you know they by Elton John and Paul McCartney and you know
The gang. Yeah.
every there's all I couldn't even name them all, but like most of those songs are not original songs to that movie, with the exception of "Come What May," which, if I
Okay.
remember correctly, was written for Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet and not used.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
am a fountain of useless pop culture knowledge, Steve.
No, I love it. I'm a huge fan of useless pop culture knowledge.
I, I,
I'm it's like me with random sports knowledge, so it's
I
fine.
actually I actually had a conversation with a coworker earlier this week where I had a conversation with him about the Tonys where I think I spit a lot of useless Tony facts at him like I'm doing right now. And then later that day at lunch, we were having lunch and Brian Wilson died. And I said, "Oh, Brian Wilson died." And he was like, "Who's Brian Wilson?" And I was like, "The Beach Boys." And he just looked at me and he was like, "You know so much about pop culture." And I was like, "I'm sorry." He was like, "No, I'm kind of jealous." Um,
Well,
so
it makes
um,
conversations in bars and places like that easy because you've always got something to pull out and be like, "Hey, so did you know about like such and such?"
it makes me really good at bar trivia and I never get invited. But anyway,
Oh, that's a bummer.
um,
Oh, maybe hold on.
the
That's a good thing to add to my non-existent list. Is trivia? Well, I don't want to do like trivia. Yeah, no, we don't want to go. Trivia can be a little cliche, but there might be something there. Anyway, go ahead.
but so yeah, so the Baz Luhrmann movie Moulin Rouge was technically an original movie musical that has been turned into a stage musical. So it's sort of like it is The Producers. So The Producers was a movie made by Mel Brooks in the 1960s that got turned into a stage musical that then got turned back into a movie.
Okay.
So you had The Producers in the 60s. I think Gene Wilder was in it. And then they
Okay.
turned it into the stage musical with Nathan Lane and Matthew
So
Broderick. And then
so
they made a
movie
movie.
to
with Nathan
musical,
Lane.
and then they made a movie of the musical.
Yes.
Okay. Ben Blather just took the shit out of that turkey, by the way. He just shot that thing from like 50 yards away. That was pretty impressive. But yeah, okay.
So they've done something similar with Moulin Rouge. They updated in the stage show. They have updated some of the pop music that they're using because it's been like 20 years since that movie was made. So I think if I remember correctly, there's like now some Gaga in it.
Okay.
There might be some Miley Cyrus. I swear at some point somebody sang Wrecking Ball. But my problem with Moulin Rouge, the stage musical, was that once again, I feel like it relied very heavily on you knowing the source material. I know several people who saw Moulin Rouge, the stage musical, who had never seen Moulin Rouge, the movie, and thought it was terrible. And I'm like, you only think it's terrible because you've never seen the movie. I need you to see the movie because the movie's fucking fantastic.
Right.
But it's really they downplayed like Satine having consumption, which is what she ultimately dies of. Spoiler alert for a 25-year-old movie.
Haven't seen it, but thanks. Go ahead.
You've never seen Moulin Rouge?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
To be fair, Steve, Ewan McGregor says that Nicole Kidman is dead in the first 5 minutes of that movie. The entire movie is a flashback. So
okay, all right, fine.
I'm not spoiling anything.
Yeah,
if you watch the first 5 minutes of the movie, you know.
Well, maybe watch longs is one of the things we'll add to the list of because Jared mentioned that, so maybe we'll have to do a Moulin Rouge watch one.
Yeah, you want me to watch ET because I've never seen it before.
Oh, jeez. All right.
We had this conversation.
Obi-Wan. LQ said, "Oh no, hold on. This is
yes, Obi-Wan singing on an elephant. It's amazing.
That's yeah. Why some of my things are just like some of my comments are too big. We're fine tuning stuff, folks. I apologize.
Yeah, but man. Obi-Wan singing on
an elephant. That's hard to not want.
Again, you have this movie came out 20 years ago. This is 2001. Ewan McGregor was filming this movie during the reshoots of The Phantom Menace, which is why his hair is weird in some of the reshoots because it's a wig because he had to grow it out for Moulin Rouge. Anyway,
but wasn't his hair really short in Phantom Menace?
Yes, and he had to get a wig because he had to grow it out for Moulin Rouge.
Okay, gotcha.
That's why it doesn't look the same in some of these in some of the scenes.
I'm a simpleton. I just thought he had a buzz cut. I didn't realize.
So
that's a great point. Yeah.
The point is, this movie is almost 25 years old. This is also a formative preteen, teenage Addie experience of Obi-Wan singing on an elephant. That's all I'm going to say. I'm just going to leave it at that. 12, 13-year-old Addie watching Obi-Wan sing on an elephant.
It was formative for you. Yeah.
Things the Force was awakened.
We had, us young boys had similar experiences with, Attack of the Clones and that arena fight. So, well, not even the arena fight. Honestly, it was more like the fireplace scene. That's what really got you. But anyway, continue.
I mean, I think I had it's similar, but with the other person in that scene. Anyway,
right.
God, Hayden could get it. Anyway, although his hair was terrible, Revenge of the Sith hair much better.
Right. I think everyone agrees with that.
But anyway, so she dies of consumption. That is like an Act 2 thing that is brought up. And it sort of comes out of nowhere. The point is, Moulin Rouge is a terrible stage show. Watch the movie. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
That's the moral of the story. Okay, I'm glad we finally got around to that.
I'm sorry about the rambling. Okay. This is what you get at 10:24 at night.
That's okay. No, we're glad you're here. I'm happy that we got the. I'm here for musical talk. If you're gonna try to convince me that it's good. Maybe Moulin Rouge is one of those movies that I've heard good things about. Obviously, lots of good things, but I have not seen it all the way through. I think I've caught like bits and pieces of it when it's on like TNT, like on a Sunday afternoon, randomly sometimes, crap like that. But
It's the kind of musical I would recommend to someone who maybe is not a big musical person.
okay,
Again, because it's a jukebox musical, it's one of those things where, like, at the very least, I think you're going to like the music.
okay, okay. Grab it up
Because it
here. I hear
is
you.
like, Elton John's Your Song and Lady
Oh, I
Marmalade
love that song.
and
Oh, hold
Diamonds Are
on.
a Girl's Best Friend.
Are we saying something's wrong with Elton John's Your Song?
No, 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 no. No.
Oh.
These are all songs that are featured in the movie.
Oh, okay. Oh, great. Oh man, now that makes me even want to watch it even more.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's one of those movies that, like, even if you're not a big musical person,
Yeah.
you are going to enjoy the songs.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So, whereas
How about this?
when I was 12 years old and watched Moulin Rouge, I did not realize that any of those songs hadn't been written before they were in Moulin Rouge. Like, I thought they were all original to the movie because I have absolutely no music knowledge.
No, I think this might be a good. I'm gonna see if I can show this one more time and it not be like terrible. There we go. That's not too bad. I think maybe this is a goal for us, Addy. If you'd be willing, I don't want to put any pressure on you here live on the show, but I think when the Backstage gets to 100 subscribers, when we hit the 100 mark on the Backstage, let's do a Moulin Rouge commentary live with Dr. Addy,
Deal.
and I don't care if it's it's just one of those things, right? It doesn't matter if it's a hit or if it's just you, me, and Brady watching. uh it will be a it'll just be one of those things, just to get us there, just to drive us there. It's one of those
Done,
things. we're
producer
community we're,
Steve.
we're community driven around here. We're community
I
driven
am
around here.
here. I like I said, I watched after Moulin Rouge came to town. I watched it with so many people because I was like, you have to watch this movie. It's so much better than the thing you just watched. I am here for it. I will do it. I will sit here and I will do my best not to talk through the whole thing because you've never seen it before.
Okay. Well, we're gonna want a little commentary, and we won't. But we're not, no pauses or anything like that, because we'll set it up so that people can follow along,
Right.
and we'll do the timer thing and all that jazz. You know what I mean?
Right.
But we'll do like we'll do all that. So Ken hates live reactions, so he's gonna love that. But that's why we have it here on the Backstage. So anyway, I had one more thing I was gonna ask there, but no, yeah, no. Brady makes a great point here. Brady says we need to get you to watch ET. So that's going to be the deal here. So if you do this, then that means you have to watch ET.
Fine.
Okay. All right.
Done. Virtual
right.
shake on it.
It's been written. It's been written. Yep. Good.
You guys
good.
can't see it, but I am doing it in my camera
She is.
too.
No, yeah, you guys can't see it, but she is. Yeah, she's shaking. She's
That's
shaking.
true.
She's shaking. She is shaking. So, is it streaming anywhere currently? That's a great question. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out
Moulin Rouge
eventually.
or ET?
What's that?
Moulin Rouge or ET?
Moulin Rouge. I think they're asking about Moulin Rouge.
I think no. Maybe.
Really? It's not on. Who made it? What studio made it?
20th Century. So is it on Disney Plus?
Yeah, if it's 20th Century, it might. I mean, it could be.
Where's my Disney Plus app?
I would think. Perhaps it is. That's okay. Anyway, we'll figure it out. We'll make it happen. When we
Damn
do,
producer Steve. I'm signing into Disney Plus.
don't worry about it. It's okay. We're gonna go back to RimWorld because we have a development here in RimWorld as this was happening, as we were talking musicals. This is one of the events that randomly happen. We have a prison breakout. We have one prisoner, some dude that tried to basically jump us last time. Prisoners have staged a breakout. They somehow defeated the door locks and are making their way out. They may seek weapons, fight, or try to escape. These prisoners are involved. Just the only prisoner we have. So we're going to have to deal with that. Luckily, the game is still paused. Is anyone nearby? All right, the Wookie is sort of close by.
Is that Falcon like Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
No, he's just a dude named he's just a naked dude named Falcon. He showed up. I don't know if you may not have been here when this happened last time, but this little dude showed up guns a-blazing, really. He came in and it was like a raid. He was coming to kill us, and we kicked his ass and we took him alive, luckily. And so we were able to make him prisoner, and we're trying to recruit him to like become part of the Blatherites. His resistance is down to 5.7. Once that's at 0, we should be able to recruit him to become a Blatherite. But he's trying to break out of prison, so that's not a good sign. So Ben Blather's gonna Ben Blather's carrying a turkey to the refrigerator, which is very important. So we're gonna get the Wookie and have the Wookie deal with this issue as he tries to break out. Luckily, he has 2 doors he has to break out of, so he got out of that door. Now he's stuck in this room. So he's gonna have to, because we have 3 other doors here in this room. He's gonna try to. Oh, okay. Well, he just walked right out of that one. That's an issue. All right, kick his ass, Wookie.
So I see that Little recovered from his raccoon attack. That was about where I went last night.
Great. No, you're absolutely I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, Little was attacked by a rabid raccoon last time. We did eat the raccoon. Everyone's fine. At least I think they ate it. Some of it went bad, so we had to get rid of it. But we did eat the raccoon meat. So our prison outbreak has luckily subsided. The Wookiee clearly kicked the naked dude's ass, so we're gonna recapture him. Hit play. Now Wookiee's gonna bring him back to prison, and hopefully we haven't lost all of our progress on trying to turn this guy over to our side. Our Wookiee friend got hurt in the process here, so he has heal other as his force power, so he can't heal himself. Luckily, Ben Blather has the force choke. Producer Stan has heal others, so we're going to draft Producer Stan, which means when we draft him, we can manually move him, put him wherever we want. Little is already drafted, so we're going to click him and bring him closer to Producer Stan. And then we're going to use Producer Stan's heal other force talent. No, come over here, Producer Stan. We're going to use his heal other force talent on the Wookiee. Ta-da! And now the Wookiee is feeling much better. Now we're going to undraft them. They're going to go back to their days. So, luckily, we only had 1 prisoner, so we didn't have anything crazy. He didn't have any weapons or anything. I've had issues in this game where I've had my prison too close to, like, other parts of my base where there were, like, weapons on, like, racks or storage things, and the prisoners get out, they immediately go grab it, and then all shit hits the fan. And it was a bloodbath, so yeah, that's how it goes down. So we've got some good setup stuff here to kind of recap from last time. Our big development was we now have electricity, which is huge. We have a wood fire generator that we're able to keep our little refrigerator here. So now our food can stay cold for long enough so we can sustain ourselves. We are pretty low on food. That is an issue. We need to get more food. We only have a couple days left of food, but we're working on that.
Can I ask a recap question, Steve?
Please do. That's actually perfect.
Why do you have that weird tiny room with so many beds in it?
Weird tiny room. This is a great question, Addie. So this
prison chamber?
No, this is the prison. Let's be clear. This is the prison. What we're looking at here is the prison. Okay. This down here is our hospital. So blue beds mean hospital bed. So if anyone gets hurt and we can't heal them with force powers, we put them in that bed and they heal at a higher rate in a blue bed than they do a regular bed. The idea is this is like one of the interesting ways about this game is like as you make the rooms nicer, like the higher quality of the room, the better the stats are of if you're trying to heal in that room. So eventually I could put like sterilized tiles down on this room instead of just wood, and you can put other things in the room that like enable it so that when they are sitting in the bed, they will be more likely to heal and not die, stuff like that.
Okay. Is that
this game is all about managing expectations of the little pawn people.
Is that Goethe wandering around? Is she doing all right?
Yeah, she's doing fine. She hangs out with Producer Stan. That's her little sleeping spot. Actually, one of the we don't have anything to make her like a little bed. Eventually, I'm going to make her a little animal bed, but I don't think we have any. We don't have any we have camel hide. Oh, we can. Okay, we're going to make her a little bed. I'm glad you mentioned that. We're going to make the kitty a bed. Here we go. Animal bed. Boom. It's going to go right next to her original sleeping spot there. And so eventually that'll be an upgrade for her. So, but we've got like the bare necessities going. Other than food, which is an important one, we have the rest of our bare necessities. We have shelter. We have power. We don't have any kind of defenses yet. And we've started growing some crops. very shittily. There's like a couple here. There's had some other shit going on, but we're getting to the point where like we kind of have our feet on the ground and we can start having some more fun, experimenting, doing things like that. But we're in a spot right now where if we get attacked, we're in a lot of trouble. So the idea, I think, the idea I'm playing with here is let's get the place to a sustainable place where we can really focus on, okay, let's find a kyber crystal. That's my goal. So.
But first we need food. That's a good point. So. What happened to the turkey? I thought you said we just killed a turkey.
We did just kill a turkey. So what happens is I think there's some turkey meat right there that we can see in the refrigerator. So the game again, like I said, most of this stuff is like automated based on priorities and what you tell them to like do based on what they're able to. So you have someone who's assigned to be a hunter. You tell them what animals to hunt. They go hunt them. They will bring the animal to your fridge that your inventory area that you've told. Okay, you can put food here, and then whoever's assigned to cook, well, whenever there is food available to cook, they will then prioritize cooking, put the finished meals in there, yada, yada, yada. So it's just all kind of like a, if this, do that kind of scenario. So like I said, Sims meets Minecraft. I do all the building manually. I kind of guide them along and then, and prioritize what's important, and then they carry it out based on what we need to do. And right now it's nighttime and they're all sleeping, so I'm going to fast forward. But but Addy, while you're here, you're welcome to hang out. Please don't get me wrong. But Ethan Alsvetnik here he was in the chat. Oh, I hope you come back if you're still around. I just saw your message. I'm sorry. Ethan,
please
if you're welcome to come in.
You would like to.
Oh no, we don't have to. Well, no, we're just hanging out. If you just want to hang out and listen to me like blather, that's fine. But I did see Alsvetnik in here earlier, so I'm welcome to. I'd be glad to have him come in if he's got some questions and wants to hang. Oh, there he is. There he's back. All I had to do is harass him about it. But anyone else who wants to call in, feel free. The link should be pinned in the chat. If it's not, tell me and I'll redo it. But yeah, call in, come hang out. Love to. Can we trap characters in a swimming pool like the Swims? And I did that in Roller Coaster Tycoon, Brady. I did that in Roller Coaster Tycoon, not the Sims, but You probably could. You can. The thing is you can do a lot worse things than that. And I'm not going to get into too many details, but you can do much worse. This game gets really dark. It gets really, really dark. So, all right. So, Addy, we're gonna make this a party. I am going to bring our friend Ethan on to join the fun. And if you guys want to like spin a wheel at some point, let me know. Shit, I'm getting a low food warning. That's not good. All right, here we go. Ethan, thank you for joining us. Your mic is hot. Welcome to the show. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing great. So, okay, you were just talking about doing things to the guests in your park on Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I don't know how you treated your guests, but we would do, my brother and I, how you could expand your park by buying some more land just outside of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we would buy up a little bit of land outside of the park that wasn't connected to the rest of the park.
Okay.
And then just pick up people and put them there. And then set up a path or whatever and kind of make a little road leading to another kind of bigger spot, and then have them kind of race there, and then if they did have 20 people there, the first 15 make it, the last 5 don't, and just sadistic, stupid teenage boy crap.
I'm sitting here thinking I played Roller Coaster Tycoon wrong because I just tried to make it just happen.
Oh gosh.
And he's
or,
I just try to make people happy and build real cool roller coasters.
Yeah,
I never built a roller coaster that went off the track into a pool of water and then,
exactly.
everyone perished.
You were playing the rookie way, Addy. The real way that you play is by making things that are so scary that the people show up at the front of it and they freak out and walk away.
Right. Exactly.
I like all my guests to leave happy.
That's adorable.
Yes, exactly. Very
At
adorable.
at some parks, you're lucky if the guests just leave alive. Which, and if you miss the old Roller Coaster Tycoon games and you have a computer, I highly recommend the game called Parkitect, which is kind of on my list of games I'm thinking of I might play eventually on stream. We can do a Blather Park. It's a lot of fun. It's just I actually
I
can't
hadn't
believe
heard of that
Parkitect's
one.
even I can't even believe Parkitect is legal because it is just a flat out copy of Roller Coaster Tycoon, just made with like modern
Oh,
graphics.
perfect.
We also 100% made Roller Coaster Tycoon for the Nintendo Switch.
Oh, did they really? Oh, that's
Yes,
cool. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's neat.
Yeah, I saw. Didn't they have like a kind of a remastered uh, Roller Coaster Tycoon like 3 or something on Switch? Which one was it?
it was called Deluxe, but it was one of the old games.
Yeah,
I don't remember which one it was, but yeah.
nice. Well, one of the reasons I had called in is Steve. So you
Please.
got into it a little bit on the. Sorry, putting my dog out.
That's all right.
Anyway, you got into it a little bit on the show earlier today, but do you have any more stories or anything to tell from your experience today at protesting?
Oh yeah, no, thank you for asking. It was a positive
Because if I'm
experience.
honest,
Yeah, go ahead.
if I'm honest, I'm kind of jealous. I probably could have made an opportunity for myself to go today, but I kind of talked myself out of it. You know,
No, I mean,
my wife had a like a brunch that she had to go to, which kind of happened to coincide with the times that they had said they were doing protesting downtown in Kansas City. And I was like, well, she's going to be gone. Sure, she's only going to be gone for an hour, but that's enough time for me to say, well, actually, I just won't go.
I mean, hey, we've all got lives.
And I kind of regret it, but anyway.
Oh my gosh, is he sweeping the floor?
He is. Cleaning is a thing here, Addie. We have to keep things clean. I have, if I click on my work thing, I have cleaning actually as a number 2 priority for folks. Because if you don't keep shit clean, they get pissed and miserable and they start hitting each other. This game is all about keeping them from killing each other at the end of the day. And other things
you
from killing them.
You want to keep them happy, so
exactly.
I did play Roller Coaster Tycoon correctly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess so.
Well, yes, but it really, at the end of the day, these games, I think these games really are about putting you in the place of God. And are you going to be a benevolent God, or are you going to be a vengeful God?
Yeah.
I'm New Testament God. I am not Old Testament God.
See, the Old Testament God's a lot more fun to play. But the other one, the New Testament God is probably more rewarding.
Brady, I want to try this out. I will report back. I have not. Oh, first of all, Brady, do you have a Switch 2? And if you do, I would love to hear your early review on it. But I have not tried out the mouse control stuff yet. I want to try that. I want to see how that is. So I
was also going to ask you about an update.
Go for it. For what?
Oh no, I was also going to ask you on an update on your second week with Switch 2. But you before that you were going to say something about your protesting.
No,
experience.
Dude, I was so. And Jared, thank you for joining. I'll bring you here in a minute, buddy. I was so happy that I got to go. I'm very grateful that I was able to go. I was super proud of our little town for showing up the way that they did. The turnout was great. There were 3 counter protesters there, and everyone else was there for, quote unquote, our side. I hate saying that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And the people that were there that were counter protesting, they had a Trump 2028 sign, they had an Israeli flag, and they wore shirts that said something about Joe Biden being like something in Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, whatever, right? Those were the only people there that were,
his laptop,
counter
stupid,
counter protesters, yeah. So that's it. I'm not gonna comment on any of that kind of stuff, other than just saying that's what they were doing. And what was funny was the protest was the main area was kind of like around the grounds around City Hall, And for the record, first of all, if Ken was at this protest, he would have been terrified. He would have been like telling me to like, we need to leave. This isn't safe, because there was almost zero security. There were a few cops like stationed at like, you know, the street lights and stuff, but no one was looking at anything. Like, I walked right in. I had like my little family bag my crossbody family bag. And I could have put God knows whatever I wanted in there. No one ever stopped me, did anything. I walked right into the middle of the crowd. Like, it was totally, which is a good thing at the end of the day, because, you know, we should all be able to have that right. But it just, like, in the back of my head, I was like, geez, it would be so easy for something bad to go wrong here. And I'm glad that nothing happened, obviously. But and it's just scary that that's even like in your head, right? Like, it's unfortunate that it's even like something that popped in my head was like, you know, if someone wanted to be a bad actor here, it wouldn't be hard. But no, luckily
that's another reason I decided in the end of the day not to.
Totally understandable.
Because
especially with the rhetoric we've heard leading up to this between the Florida Sheriff's Office, between the governor of Florida saying you can, you know, run over protesters essentially if you feel threatened.
Yeah.
That's
our illustrious governor here in Missouri, you know, mobilized the National Guard ahead of everything for no reason other than he's a bootlicker. So,
not to mention what happened in Minnesota today.
And that's a whole
there's that as
that's
well.
A whole, yeah. Thank you, Addie. No, that's a good point, and I appreciate you bringing that up for context. But that is that's a whole other thing. And yeah, Ken was right. Like, we could talk about that for hours. That's one of those things where, as a journalism student, my mind immediately goes to like, okay, before I like say anything about that into a microphone, I want to be like actually informed on what's happening. But from the surface of it, that just looks like a political assassination. And the first thing I saw was a story to, oh, now look at what the Minnesota legislature looks like and what the numbers are and all that kind of stuff. And it's just, if that's where we are, then we're, it's,
yeah, like you said, probably a lot that I could say, but yeah. I don't. I'm not the person to say it.
Well, you know, it's shit. Our colony is still running out of food. And for the record,
here we are having this discussion. Meanwhile,
for the record, I'm okay using the word colony here, and I'm just gonna put that out right because this is what the game uses. But also, we are in space on a planet like crash landed or whatever. This is we're not kicking out any native people or anything like that. So I'm not gonna feel bad about using the word colony in 2025 in this context. So I don't have to.
Why do they keep visiting the prisoner?
Because they have to. He's hurt, so they're giving him medicine. Because the Wookie done fucked him up. So the Wookie cut him in the leg, bruised the shit out of him, cracked his tibia, and cut his right foot during the prison break. Okay. So when we put him back in jail, they're tending to him and healing him and then feeding him and stuff like that. I don't know why he's not sleeping in the bed. That's a prisoner's bed. Like that, he should. I'm just gonna get rid of this little sleeping spot actually. Deconstruct the sleeping spot. There you go. Go sleep in the bed, buddy. That's going to make your life a lot better.
Can I go off on a weird random tangent here for a second?
How long can you make that tangent? Because I kind of have to pee.
I can make it pretty short.
No. I don't mean no. I don't want it to short. No. I mean, I need to pee.
Yeah, go. Yeah. I can hold off.
Okay. All right. I'm trusting you to not do anything that's going to get this channel banned. All right. So just.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm giving you that promise. Okay, Jared, this is another reason why you're not joining. I'll bring you in as soon as I'm back, but, you know, I got to be careful. I don't trust you at a microphone without a babysitter, so I love you. I'll be right back.
It is nice to know where we rank, Ethan.
Sweet. I can be trusted. It feels good to be trusted. No, so weird little tangent. So, ever since the trailer for that new James Bond game came out, I've been on a bit of a James Bond kick. The last couple of nights or so, I've been watching the Craig era Bond movies, and I'm watching the beginning of Skyfall as we speak. And there is a small moment at the beginning where, in typical Bond fashion, something incredibly crazy happens that only James Bond can do, where they're on a moving train and he uses construction equipment to basically make himself a bridge between two of the rail cars to get across, and then he jumps down into a passenger car and he's all like disheveled, but then he straightens his tie, and that's just I just was like, man, that is classic James Bond stuff. Like you're on a moving train in a fight, but here you are, you straightened your tie. That's perfect. Anyway,
I will take your word for that.
not
Like,
a
like
you don't
E.T.,
strike me. You don't
I've
strike me as
never
a James
seen
Bond
a
person.
James Bond movie. I can
Never
sing.
seen a single one.
I can sing a couple
There's
of the
25 of
songs.
them.
I can name actors who have played James Bond.
Yeah.
I can tell you that he's ordering a watered down martini and just being snooty about it.
Well, that's just a great West Wing reference.
But no, I have never seen a James Bond movie.
What?
Is there interest? Is there interest on any level, or
No.
is it? Yeah, I would. Yeah. Any
Okay.
particular reason for that?
Okay.
No.
This hold on. This is going to be let me take off the shady cam. Okay. This is going to be so Addie, I have a list of movies my wife Jared, I'm gonna bring you on here too. Hold on. Let me bring Jared to the stage here, and I'm gonna
You want me to catch you up with what you missed
now
here,
you're
Steve?
You're on camera, but you're not on. You're only on camera on stream here, buddy. Don't worry. You're not on. I know. Stream. So I didn't want you to feel like you were left out of the conversation. So anyone who feels like they want to call in, please come in, come hang out. We'll spin the wheel in a little while, I think, too. Oh, that was your microphone. At first, I thought that was like one of your Power Ranger props, and I was a little concerned. No, you're okay. I'm not making
little Power Rangers props. My friend,
I did not mean it
40
like
in
that.
January. They are
I did not make it like
props.
that. I did not mean it like that.
I mean, not everybody can be Addy with 400.
I did not mean it like that. Hey, I told you the story about the first time I tied my shoes, and my reward was one of those power. I thought those were medals, Addy.
They are medals. They're all my race medals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Addy is
let's bookmark that. Cool. I would love to talk to you about that sometime, Addy. Actually, like really, because that's super impressive.
My race medals?
Yeah, that's a lot of medals.
Okay.
Anyway,
okay. She says okay, like she says okay to her doctorate.
Ethan, what were we talking about before I brought Jared on?
I'm the James Bond movie and your
James Bond movie. Yes.
For your wife.
So yes.
Yeah. Hold on. So my wife has we have a list of like super obvious movies my wife has never seen. So like like Back to the Future. Well, we watched that last year, but like Rocky, The Godfather, like all the super cliche movies that she hasn't seen, right?
Yeah.
And so Addie seems like she's in the same boat here. So there may be there may be a recurring series here. Would you go ahead?
Rocky as well? Oh, I introduced my wife to Rocky a little while ago too. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Just those movies that,
movies
that are almost like okay. And I say this with like the most, I don't know, whatever possible, but quote unquote man movies. You know what I mean? They're movies that are really for everybody, but like they're kind of stereotypically.
Yeah.
Let me throw a monkey wrench into this for you because I have seen all of the Rocky movies and all of the Godfather movies.
Okay. Well, and that's not
more than once.
Yeah, and like I said stereotypically, and there really are for everybody. But I feel like,
yes, but have you seen all
there
the
is?
No,
I've not seen all the Rambo movies.
I've also never seen a Terminator movie.
Okay, well, what this is telling me is we might do a series here where we'll do something like maybe monthly. We'll do like a Mystery Science Theater-esque stream where we will look at like movies that it'll do like a movies you should have seen by now. Is kind of like the idea of the series, right? Mike squeak. We'll do movies you should have seen by now, and that'll be the opportunity for the community to come together and say, hey, no judgment zone. Or if you just love the movie and you want to see people's like reactions to it for the first time. But we know Ken doesn't like reactions, so we'll give you a little bit of that flavor here. And we'll do Mystery Science Theater-esque, without getting sued, Blather community watch-alongs, and the folks who have never seen it before and want to come on to the show on camera, we can have that arranged. I think that'd be fun. That'd be a fun little community thing to do for every so often.
Is Addie willing to watch violent movies?
Well, we're gonna keep it relatively. We're gonna play the hits at first. You know what I mean? We got to make sure we cover the big stuff. You know what I mean?
Kind of to that point, Jared, like for this whole thing that we're talking about, I'm a pretty easy mark because I grew up pretty conservative, and for a very long time I hadn't seen an R-rated movie. So I've seen a lot since, but like there are some classics that I have not seen. The Godfather being one of them.
That's
here's a fun question while we what do we remember our first R-rated movies?
Yes,
because I remember mine.
Oh, this is a great question, Addie.
You like yes and no, because I wasn't not allowed to watch them, but I was also like, I'm of that age where it's not like they were just available. I could pick up anytime I want. It was like the one cable box we had in the house, and if we were watching something, it's fine, kind of thing. Like, I remember being able to go see like Saving Private Ryan with the parents or something, but the first like R-rated movie I saw in theaters by my onesie was actually Jason X. I think we snuck into that one too.
Nice.
Addie, what was yours?
Troy.
Troy's rated R.
That's such an Addie answer. That is an Addie answer.
And I saw it for one reason and one reason only.
He was delicious in it. That's why.
Sean Bean didn't die. Was that it? The reason?
Yes, that is exactly the reason, Steve.
Spoiler alert. Speaking of spoilers, 20 years later.
It was not Brad Pitt, Jared.
Which one?
Okay. Now even I'm surprised.
Orlando Bloom.
But he's such a excuse me for this. He's a bitch in that movie.
He is, but he's
he's Paris. That's the character.
I know, but like to make Orlando Bloom that while he's also this is the same time he's making Pirates of the Caribbean. He just come off of Pirates of the Caribbean or had just done it. He's about to do Kingdom of Heaven, and then he plays Paris, and just he plays it. When you play a bitch too well, it makes me look different. It makes me look at you differently. Is all I'm saying.
But he's a very pretty bitch, Steve.
He is.
He is.
Not everybody
Do you still
can be
feel
as
that
pretty
way
as
with
Steve,
the whole
but...
Katy Perry, the whole thing going on? Oh, Addie, this is a whole other thing I would love to hear. As a giant Swiftite, what is your opinion on Miss Katy Perry?
I'm a Katy Perry fan.
Oh, really?
Hang on. Catch me up to the gossip.
Oh, you're not on this, Jared?
Jared, this goes back years. The Taylor Swift song "Bad Blood" is about Katy Perry.
Yeah.
Well, that just blew my mind.
Oh, we've been in double speed on the colony here, and I haven't been paying attention at all. Luckily, no one's dead, but all right, we're back. Go ahead, continue.
Because years ago, I believe it was for the Teenage Dream tour, Katy Perry stole Taylor Swift's backup dancers.
Katy Perry stole Taylor Swift's backup dancers.
Yes.
So Katy Perry is anti-backup dancer labor because she doesn't want to give other backup dancers jobs. She wants to take someone else's. That's what I take. But
But there is no more Bad Blood.
Dude, she married Russell Brand. That makes me worried.
And now she has a kid with Orlando Bloom.
Orlando Bloom, yeah. I don't know. Going to space wasn't a good look. That's all I'm going to say.
No, I agree with that. And I will also say that I haven't liked any of her albums in years. But I'm a Kate. Like, I think she's fine.
Ben Blather is really struggling to kill this llama or this alpaca too. Is all I'm saying. He's gonna get away.
And I still like Orlando Bloom. I really want to watch. Didn't he like put out like a show on Nat Geo or something?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, did he do it? Did he do a nature documentary thing?
I don't think he did a nature documentary thing. I think he almost pulled a Chris Hemsworth, and it's like a show about him like going around the world and trying shit.
Hold on.
Oh God, let's hang on. I'm Google. I got it.
LQ makes way good of a point here. Orlando was adorable in that movie, but Eric Bana, that is so true.
She is correct. She is correct.
So true. I'm so glad
She
we have
is
LQ here just as a voice of reason, because that's 100% true.
Yes.
And I agree with Brady, Katy Perry in the early 10. And I keep like highlighting chat, but you guys can see the chat in the top. But I try to highlight when I can, but it's just a lot of work when I'm also playing the game. Katy Perry in the early 10s was peak. I'm with you on that. That Teenage Dream. Is Teenage Dream the name of the album? The one that had like 5 number 1 hits. That's a great. That's an all-time pop album. It's an all-time pop album, no matter what you think of Katy Perry.
In 2024, he did a show called The Edge.
Yes.
To the Edge.
Oh, Orlando Bloom?
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, Ben Blather has still not killed this alpaca. This is getting embarrassing.
Yeah, it was a Peacock show.
Which from what I remember from social media was similar to the Chris Hemsworth No Limit show that was on Disney Plus and Nat Geo.
From the images, it looks exactly the same.
No. You are not giving up on this alpaca. This dude was about to hit it once and then go run away and go do something else because this is taking too long. You are finishing this job, Ben.
Yeah, you can't leave him to die.
And I love how when
he will die.
I might have passed out between shows, hence why I'm late. But I love how there was a prison break from the prisoner I told you to put his head on a spike first. You didn't instill fear in anybody. You showed mercy too quick, my friend.
That's true. Well, he was our first here. Jared, I'm not gonna lie.
You gotta be.
Oh my gosh, those little blood stains.
I need the labor, man. His resistance at 0.9. He's gonna be I know there's so many blood stains. That's because Ben Blather is a terrible shot, and all these poor animals are just like walking around bleeding to death instead of him actually finishing the job. But he got that one. So.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. All the red in the dirt are blood stains? I was talking about the spots on the alpaca.
Oh, no. These are all these little red dirt. That's all blood. That's from them hunting other animals and the same thing happened. Yeah, that's what happens when they're not good shots. I thought it
was like red bushes.
Nope. Not red bushes.
No,
it goes away, though. Once it rains, it'll go away. Don't worry.
It's like D-Day.
It's like D-Day. Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, he is using like a bolt-action looking rifle, so... But that alpaca is gonna save. That's important for us. We need that meat. We've only got 10 simple meals. Because
I'm not a pacifist, Christopher.
Meals,
I'm choosing to believe that it's just like red underbrush.
That's fine. There's berries that we can collect that are red. Oh, speaking of berries, I want to harvest all these.
Addie, you don't like horror movies, I'm willing to bet, huh?
Oh, Jared, I cannot. No, and it's not the gore. I can't do jump scares.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
I'm actually with you on
that. What about a no jump scares horror movie?
Then how is it scary?
Oh, you don't need things to pop out at you and go boo to be scary.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy a good psychological thriller. But also my favorite scary movie is Signs.
Wow. Is that a horror movie? Or is that like a sci-fi thriller movie?
It's a psychological thriller.
Okay, fair. All right.
It's an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
I'm just asking.
I also
another movie I've never seen all the way through. I've seen like 80%
I also really enjoyed I think the best psychological thriller is that one where Johnny Depp buries everyone in a cornfield.
Oh, Secret Window.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that one.
Oh yes,
it's been a long time since I've seen it.
And most Asian horror is pretty ridiculous. The amount of horror I have seen makes my therapist nervous sometimes. When I explain,
thank you, Brady. I also thought they were flowers.
Also, my first rated R movie was Gladiator.
I'm so glad we got back to that. Okay, that's where I was like, what the hell were we talking about? And so that's where we were. Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ethan. So Gladiator, that's a great one. That's a
good one. It is, or at home?
It's at home.
I was going to say it had to have been at home. I don't think Ethan's that much older than us.
No.
No, my parents brought me to my first. My parents brought me Blather. Ben.
When was Gladiator? I'm 39.
2001.
I thought it was 2000.
Yeah, 2000, 2001.
Yeah, I was a freshman when that came out.
Yeah.
I saw Troy with my dad in the theaters. You want to talk
Yeah.
about a fun, awkward movie going?
Oh shit!
I saw Jane Silent
saw
Bob Strikes Back with my dad in the theaters. I was like 11.
I saw Titanic with my mother in the theaters.
That was awkward. Oh, nice. My first R-rated movie was Air Force One. Hans. I remember
good
asking
one.
my
that's a
dad.
good one.
I remember asking my dad
President
why Han
Ford
Solo
is
was
the
the
president
president.
we need.
Right. I just remember being like, why is Han Solo the president? What is happening? Like, what is going on?
Get off my plane.
Oh man, that was still. I used to use that for so many different. Just anytime I could think of the scenario of kicking something, I would say get off my plane. That was get off my plane was This Is Sparta before This Is Sparta. Like
It really
the
is.
kids don't know that. The Zoomers don't know that. But get off my plane is This Is Sparta for the older or the kind of mid to older millennials.
You're totally right.
I love that.
Speaking of movie stuff, is there a movie quote that you use consistently that nobody ever catches or really knows what you're talking about, but it's innocuous enough that you can still use it
This
constantly?
is such a good question.
Yes.
Oh, this is such. Let me think about this for a minute. But this is such a good
Because
question.
my answer. Oh, go ahead, Addie.
I was gonna say yes. I'll go first. I frequently say to people all the time that activity suggests a life filled with purpose, and no one has any idea that I'm ripping off The Sound of Music.
See, I usually go with "Don't Judge Me, Monkey," and it's from Grandma's Boy.
That's a good one. I'm trying to think of some ones. A good one, a go-to one for me is "Make Me a Bicycle Clown" from Wedding Crashers.
See, I never saw Wedding Crashers.
Oh, you've
I
never
also-
seen Wedding Crashers?
I am not a
also,
Will Ferrell fan.
It's more of an Owen Wilson, Vince Vaughn movie, to be honest.
Okay, that makes me think of one. So a lot.
Watch
so,
Wedding Crashers, dude. It's hilarious. That is
Yeah.
right in the peak of mid 2000s like humor kind of stuff. It's worth it. I love that movie. Continue.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Ethan.
No, that's okay. I say it's so damn hot all the time.
Yes, no, I quote. That is definitely a millennial staple. Is Anchorman? Is quoting Anchorman.
Yeah.
It's kind of out of fashion
That's-
now, but
Milk was a
Anchorman and
bad
4-year-old
choice.
version are two big ones for sure. I
Yeah,
used to quote
no.
4-year-old version all the time.
The amount of times that I've been working on a roof with another like technician on like some big project, and I'll stop and just be like, "Oh, it's so damn hot." Is like
Oh, I'm
just
sorry,
a lot.
buddy. I cut off your.
I also- I'll pull out "Sad is happy for deep people."
What? Wait. Say that again.
Sad is happy for deep people.
I don't know what that is.
That is a Doctor Who reference.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
No, I'm not.
From
I'm not a Doctor Whoite. I'm sorry.
What-
Me
which
neither.
episode?
Oh, where did
Don't blink.
Oh, yeah.
I was literally just gonna say, don't blink.
Yeah.
My partners are Whovians and brown coaters.
Is that what they call themselves? Whovians?
Yeah, they're
Whovians.
Whovians.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
We used to be really into Doctor Who. We fell off during Jodie's run.
I
haven't
also
been back
no.
since.
I take that back. I fell off during Peter Capaldi's run, and I tried to pick it back up during Jodie and couldn't. And then I tried to pick it up back up
Actually,
now and have not been able to. Although now that Rose is coming back, I might have to.
right. Spoilers.
I hate to interrupt.
but
Wasn't he
I-
supposed to only
oh.
have so many
I hate
regenerations?
to interrupt. I hate to
and,
interrupt, but we have breaking news. We have
Who
a
is
raid
that?
going on. We have a raid going on in the RimWorld. We've
Uh-oh.
again. This is the people from the Mentorake Treaty. This is the same people that Falcon, our current prisoner, came from. I don't know, Addie. How the hell do you pronounce that guy's name?
I can't even see it. It's written too tiny.
I can't see it. It's yeah.
I can't do, actually, I can do something about that. Actually, I can do something about that. Let me make it a little bigger.
And there's a huge delay between the YouTube stream and the StreamYard, so I can't even
that's
zoom in on
unfortunate.
that one.
Luckily, if you turn off your camera, you can you don't have to, but you should be able to see the stream bigger.
So first of all, that is a
That's a
100%
crayon chunk. Let me do
made up word because
Go. Yeah, I don't know how I'm supposed to. I don't know how I'm supposed to.
Yeah,
pronounce that.
nope. Yeah, that's not.
I'm
that's a bit
afraid if
awkward.
I try to say that, I'm going to say something that's like inappropriate or something, or like some kind of a slur. So I don't want to.
Let's just call him Meatbag.
Sure, that sounds good. So let's look at his gear. He has a silver knife and he has some silver on him. Or he has a steel knife, I'm sorry, and some silver on him. No clothes or anything that I can see, or like armor or anything. His childhood, this person was a vengeful child. They were a weaver as an adult, whatever that means, using wool. They're an optimist. That's cute. They're incapable of caring. That's not good. I think if you want to head on a spike, Jared, this might be a good candidate.
Yes, I was gonna say go Vlad the Impaler.
The second part of that name is pronounced Goem.
Okay, I can see that. Well, they're attacking us immediately, so we're getting the crew ready. We've got the Wookie with a knife, Producer Stan has a revolver, and Blather Ben has a big old rifle. Just remember, we all suck at shooting, so we really rely on the Wookie with the knife to do a lot of the work for us.
Mad Claw.
So we're gonna see where this dude's coming from. All right. Meanwhile, what is this person just have blue hair? Like I don't understand where the blue is coming from. Maybe they do.
So Addie, did we pick a good song in Blank Space?
Blank Space is a good one. I'm interested to hear your take on it.
We kind of Midwest emoted a little.
That's why I'm interested to hear it.
Sorry, I missed that. What's...
Okay. In an effort to we've been planning on it anyway, but as part of the joke, in an effort to get Addie to come out and be a not grandma and spend a night out watching my band, we have learned a Taylor Swift song.
Shots fired.
Wow.
Which one?
No, it is not. See, but it's not shots fired because I own my grandma-ness. You guys have to understand. I'm going to be going to bed soon because at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up and run 4 miles. Like,
oh, good for you.
Yeah, you are.
There's a connection between needing to go to bed early in order to wake up early.
I mean,
because I am not young anymore and I cannot function on 6 hours of sleep.
See, that's where the neurospicy kicks in, and it just, I am neither a night owl or a morning person. I am a permanently exhausted pigeon.
Yeah.
See, tomorrow's Father's Day, so
I feel exactly what you're saying.
I've already planned out that. So my wife was very kind and let me sleep in this morning. So I'm going to wake up with the baby tomorrow morning. We're going to do daddy baby time in the morning for Father's Day. We're going to watch some Lion King, assuming she can get through it. We're going to see if she can actually pay attention to it. If she doesn't, we'll just switch to Bluey. But that's the plan for me for tomorrow morning. So I don't care how tired I am in the morning at that point because I'm just going to sit on the couch and watch Lion King with my kids. So that's easy enough. But no, Addie, I don't want to keep you up too late. You're welcome to...
I'm leaving soon.
Whenever you want.
Don't worry.
But as a quick update here, the raid is over. We did defeat this person. They are alive. We don't have a place to put them because we only have one. I mean, I could easily make another room.
We have a place.
Prisoner.
It's a spike.
So yeah, here's what we're gonna do. Jared wants a scalp, so Jared's gonna get a scalp. The Wookie's gonna finish the job.
My name is Lieutenant Aldo Rain.
Here's what we're gonna do. This is for you, Jared. Where the hell is this?
Lion King 1.5.
Oh, we have a little meditation. I'm totally gonna make a Jedi meditation.
Oh,
pad.
yeah, I agree with that
That's
take.
cool.
Lion King 1.5 is fun.
I haven't seen Lion King 1.5 since I was a little schoolgirl. That was a long time ago. Oh, there's a movie line I use randomly. Is since I was a little schoolgirl. That's an Austin Powers thing. That's an Austin Powers reference I go to all the time that I just don't even think of. But yeah, so there you go. Hey, look at that. We segues.
In the summer, we'd make meat helmets.
Dude, I love those movies. Isn't there a rumor they're making a new one? Is that like a real thing?
It is always.
I don't know if it's a real thing, but
it's not. Okay.
I also
it's a rumor until it happens.
Right. Of course.
I throw out a liquid hot magma every once in a while.
Yes, yeah.
When my kids are at that stage right now where they'll randomly they'll be talking about like volcanoes or something, and I'll be like, yes, a liquid hot magma.
See, and now I just think I've entered the boys' club, which might be my sign to go to bed.
Oh, wait, hold on, Addie. No, hold on. I mean, you're welcome to. Don't get me wrong. You do whatever you want. But you've never seen the Austin Powers movies?
No. I've also never seen it, and I've never
she's never She's never watched James Bond movies, so like the
Maybe.
shtick probably wouldn't.
Here's
No.
the idea.
Like-
Here's the idea. Here's the idea. I'm fine tuning the idea.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Can I?
Well,
It is
it's my show, Addie, but sure, go ahead. Go for it. Please.
No,
None
Who
of
are you
those-
kidding, Steve? Who are you kidding?
I know, that's fair. Go ahead, Addie.
None of those movies are my sense of
God damn it,
humor.
Brady. That's
Well,
okay.
What is your favorite comedy? Or top like
Ooh,
3?
good
That
question.
isn't a musical. Not a musical.
Do rom-coms count?
Yes.
If they're actual if it's more on the calm side, sure.
See, then I don't know how to answer that question.
Well,
Okay, well
give
then
us
just tell me what.
examples.
Okay,
We'll
dude,
judge.
forget that I just said that then.
I love a When Harry Met Sally.
Oh,
or
that's
like
perfect. That's a comedy. No, that counts. That counts. That totally counts. When Harry Met Sally counts.
Crazy,
That's a yeah.
Crazy Stupid Love.
Okay.
I like
okay.
Crazy Stupid Love
Okay.
too.
All right, so here we're fine tuning the
What
idea.
about
The-
How
the
about
movie...
this? Since we're
Go ahead,
ahead,
Jared.
Steve.
Go ahead. No, please.
No, I was gonna say since we're in Massachusetts, have you seen Fever Pitch? I don't
Okay.
care that you're a
I actually like Fever Pitch. I actually like Fever Pitch. That's another guilty pleasure. I
Yeah.
like that movie. That movie makes me wish I had and lived next to a baseball stadium where I could have season tickets.
You would never afford Fenway season tickets.
Oh, I
You'd
know.
have
Don't
to
get me
tell
wrong,
your
but
children.
Cincinnati, I probably could.
Well, I mean,
Tampa, we probably could for Tampa at their little league stadium. But actually, no. You know what? I imagine because it's so small, they probably did pretty good on selling those. What was I gonna say?
Savannah bananas sell more than Tampa Bay.
That's not nice.
I don't know, but
The
bringing
idea
up just
the
kind
idea
of-
for the movie
go ahead,
commentary is okay. So like we said, mystery science theater. I think the twist here is millennial science theater. Let's catch up on the movies from the 90s and 2000s that you may have missed, but you understand the pop culture references to. Because my wife has a whole list of these things, and we knock them out every so often. If we don't have anything to do on a Friday or Saturday night, be like, hey, let's watch a movie on your list, and it'll be like, you know, Back to the Future, or it'll be Terminator, or it'll be like some big movie that she's just never seen, right? So
You
stuff
just
like that.
listed 2 movies from the 80s when you were talking
I know,
about your
okay, I know, but
90s
this
and
again, this is a
2000s.
little longer.
No,
that idea is different from this idea, but yes, you're right.
No,
You're
no,
totally right.
I got the perfect the mom action movies.
Yes,
from
Brady's
the
millennials
90s.
count. Go ahead.
Under Siege 1 and 2. Steven Seagal.
That is a deep cut. The Steven Seagal cuts are like that's getting on the edge of. Go ahead, Addie. You're raising your hand. What do you want?
I would like to amend my favorite comedy to be an actual comedy, not a romantic comedy.
Okay.
What do you got?
I'm so glad you raised your hand for this. Please go ahead.
Clue.
Oh, that's a good call.
good
That's a
one.
great call. Great call.
Fucking classic.
Great call. Love that movie. Brady, I have beef. We should all have beef with Steven Seagal. He's like a literal traitor. So no worries there.
Oh, that brings up another quote that I use all the time. And now I'm going to go home to my wife.
Now I'm gonna go with my wife. Yep.
Oh man.
And sleep with my wife.
Yeah, I usually amend it depending on what company I'm in. But yeah,
Flames,
Flames.
flames. On the
flames.
side of
My
my
wife, my wife uses that one all the time when she's talking about
no.
frustrations with the kids. Flames, flames on the side of my.
One of my favorites is when they're all just had it mustard pour. Anybody else want a brandy? And he just starts circling it, spilling as he pours.
Oh man.
Tim
All
Curry
right.
is such a sweet man. I'm so sad of what has happened to him.
I saw him
Yeah.
on
Oh,
Broadway
speaking of Tim Curry. Yeah, go ahead.
as King Arthur.
What did I
Wow,
miss?
that's cool.
He's just it is I forget what he
That's
has
super
for a disease, but he's
Oh,
He's like in a
wheelchair
wheelchair.
bound.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah, he's
yeah.
I don't know if it's not part or MS or Parkinson's, but it's similar
It's something
where
like degenerative of some kind.
yeah. He can't move or speak very well.
Yeah.
His brain's
It's
all
absurd.
there. His
He
body's
had a
just failing. him.
stroke.
Yeah.
Was it a
That's
stroke?
Mhm.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. But no, I love my low-key favorite, just quickly, and I've talked about this a little bit before, though, but my low-key favorite Tim Curry movie is Disney's Three Musketeers with Charlie Sheen and Oliver Platt and all those guys.
God,
I love
Kiefer Sutherland.
that movie. Kiefer Sutherland, yeah. The cast is stacked.
I don't know if I remember watching that all the way through as a kid.
It's on Disney Plus.
I don't think I've seen
Plus.
it all the way through.
Oh
either.
my gosh, guys, it is so good. It's also like right at 90 minutes. I'm adding that to the list for sure.
Okay.
I would
love
to watch that movie on stream. That would be so much fun.
Here's a good streaming question. What was the first thing you watched the day you got Disney Plus?
The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
See, that. I made an actual Facebook post about this. I made fun of it. Got Disney Plus a day. I was like, got Disney Plus. Did I watch Mandalorian? No. Did I watch something else? No. What did I put on? Heavyweights.
That's a good one. I thought you were say like Steamboat Willie or something, but yeah, no, Heavyweights is a good one.
Nope.
Heavyweights is a good one. That's good.
I'm pretty sure I watched The Mandalorian. Probably swiftly followed by like a classic animated Disney movie, but
yeah, Mandalorian was watched that day, but I think it was like Heavyweights and then a couple of the OG Disney movies like Brink and Johnny Tsunami.
Sorry. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Brink. I love Brink. I love Brink.
I rewatched it
Pup
recently.
And Suds, baby.
It is.
Team Pup and Suds.
It is.
Brady, Kim Possible. So, all right, it's after 11 o'clock. We're on the backstage. I'll admit it. I had a little bit of a crush on Kim Possible as a kid. That was kind of my animated. If I had to have ever had any animated crush, it was Kim Possible. She was hot.
I mean, yeah,
it's fine. As a kid, that was. You were like, okay, I like him. I'm all right watching Kim Possible.
At the time, so was the voice actress.
Who was that? The same girl from Even Stevens?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I'm going to think of her name.
And Christy Carlson
Romano.
Now, to be clear,
Addie, I was right there.
To be clear, she's still an attractive woman. Her personality isn't as attractive anymore.
Wait, what happened with Christy Carlson Romano? Spill the details.
Is she MAGA?
She's just kind of doing like the kind of like influencer thing.
Jared liked that one.
And it's just not.
Oh, my bad. I keep showing you guys at the end. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ethan. I cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh no.
Wait, Christy Carlson Romano is MAGA?
No, I don't think so. She just kind of went the whole like.
Don't sue me.
Influencer thing and just a bunch. Yeah, and I just nah.
Fair.
Like I said,
guys, we have
still an attractive woman. Not.
I'm sure she's
in my Disney Channel, my favorite Disney Channel original movie though. Which
Cadet Kelly. Yep,
I knew
it. I got in there first for the record. I got in there before she said it. For the record, I knew it. Christopher Ross said I had a crush on Kim's mom. Hell yeah, you did. Attaboy, Christopher. Cadet Kelly was a good one. Oh, Lizzie McGuire was another, but she was like a real person. But yeah, big crush on Lizzie McGuire growing up.
I was trying to think. Like, I don't remember a specific.
Hillary Duff.
I
didn't remember having an animated one, but I remember Clarissa from Clarissa Explains It All.
Yes, that's a great one. Love
my
that
first
show.
And then one of my bisexual awakenings as a child was I can never remember the young actor's name at the time, but he was the real boy in Casper, and then the quarterback in Little Giants.
My wife goes on and on.
Wait.
My
The quarterback
wife goes
in
on
what?
and on about that kid.
The Little Giants.
Oh no, I
Rick
don't
Moranis.
remember him.
But he was
I love
the
that
real
movie, but
he was the real boy at the end of Casper.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny.
It's so funny.
The real boy in Casper, I can picture his face.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not alone. My wife was.
I was around like 10 years old, and I'm like, wait a second, boys are pretty.
We have a quest available. I hope I can. Oh, it expires soon. Okay, hold on. We have a huntsman, leader of something, is requesting a favor. His friend Green is interested in learning about other cultures. He wants you to host him for 14 days. You want me to just shack this dude up? You want him to just be a freeloader for 14 days? I'm gonna get 69 hyperweave, nice, and 8 glitter world medicine, which is just really good medicine, and I'll get good stuff. And this dude will accept
good relations with the Wookiees. You will have.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna accept.
I was gonna say a fortnight's not terrible.
No, we know Speedy joint. Whoever Speedy is, a policewoman. Oh, we're gonna accept this for a person. We're gonna rename this person, and then we're gonna make this person Captain Mayo, since that's the first name that's coming off the board. Since you called Jared. All right, here we go.
That That is Devon Sawa. You're right. Christopher Watts is Devon.
Oh,
That is Devon Sawa.
oh,
Yeah.
now I
Alright,
have
so
to Google
we're
and
gonna-
see what he looks like these days.
We gotta make a bed for this new person. So that's one of the first things you
Not
need to
too
do when the new
shabby
person shows
from-
up.
I can't remember the last thing I saw him in, but
Oh my God, that's right. He's the Final Destination guy.
This is gonna be
Holy
the
shit! Holy
guest
shit!
wing.
He's been in
who's the Final Destination
yeah,
guy?
he's-
Sorry, I'm just blabbing over here.
Devon Sawa, the real boy of Casper. He was the lead.
Oh, yeah.
He was
Okay.
he was the lead in the first Final Destination. He got everybody off the plane. Yeah, he did. He did stay cute.
Oh, we did it! We did it, guys. We did it. We successfully convinced our prisoner to join the colony. We officially have Falcon in the colony.
Broken
so
his
this
you
person,
Stockholmed him.
we did.
Yes.
We did. We told him, hey, dude, would you rather live as a naked person who gets sent on raids to die, or live in the Blatherite community in Blathertown? And he chose Blathertown. So we're gonna take Falcon, this weird dude with the big beard and no clothes. We're probably gonna make him some clothes here soon, but we're going to change his name
To Tormund.
What's his name, Jared?
Tormund. I was gonna say he's a naked dude with beard.
Tormund. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what's his title? Actually, I don't know if we even need to give him a title. We're just gonna give him a nickname because we can't change his real name, but we're gonna make his nickname Tormund. Boom. His title is Gatherer, whatever that is. But there we go. All right, Jared, you've named our first one. That was some really
Yeah,
fucking loud thunder.
As a man
Holy
who's
shit.
been a DM for almost 30 years, I'm terrible at. What's this NPC's name? Bob.
Producer Stan recruited
I
him. Producer Stan asked him to join. He accepted his producer Stan's invite to join the community. Look at that. Look at you, producer Stan. You did something useful. Proud of you.
Look at that.
Proud of
You're
you.
gonna turn it into like the Wicker Man community. It's gonna be the Summer Isle.
Okay, so Jared, thank you for contributing that first name. Since you guys are on the call, I'm going to give
Good night,
you some-
LQ.
Good night,
I'm
LQ.
with-
Thanks for hanging
I'm
out.
actually with
I'm trying to-
LQ. I am
Yeah.
also about to turn into a pumpkin.
Okay,
So-
well, Addie, as you go, I'll give you the honor of being able to name our next character who shows up. I'll write it down here. What would you like the next character's name to be? Do you want Dr.
God.
Batty?
No.
No? Okay. Fair enough.
Dr. Metals, all the metals behind her.
This is not a question you ask me at 11:30 at night.
No, it's
Yes, it
exactly
is.
the question. Right?
Brain has
No,
switched
you have
off.
that. You have that way.
Sounds
opposite.
like it's gonna be Bob.
Just give it some ridiculous scientific name.
Pick a different letter to put in front of my name. Batty is not fun.
Zaddy.
There you go.
Dr. Zaddy. Well, if it's a guy, we'll go Dr. Zaddy. If it's a lady, we will go
Mommy.
Dr. Saddy.
No.
I'm spitballing. Like, because it's like, we'll figure it out. We'll workshop it. I was gonna look for like a Padme joke there, but I couldn't think of one. But that's
I mean,
okay.
you could just name her Padme.
We could, if that's what you want. That's what we'll do. Or Taylor. We could do if there's a Taylor Swift joke in there somewhere you want. If there's like a secret nickname, or we could name her mother.
Padme Swift.
Padme Swift. Well, I can't. I only give her a nickname, so I think Mother might be a good one. That one might be funny. If we have a female, we'll name her Mother. That's what we're gonna do.
Mother.
Yeah.
See, as an Alien fan, every time somebody wants to be like, "No, Mother is an evil computer," you don't want to do that.
Well, Addie, thank you for joining us. I appreciate you hanging out. I'm glad that. Thank you for also being the first guest, so we could figure all this shit out. And the tech actually worked tonight, folks. Look at that. For like 85, at least 85% of the stream tonight, everything worked. I think.
I apologize earlier,
Dr. Caddy's
Steve.
a good one too, Christopher.
I did not realize that I thought of Caddy because you could go Caddy, which is Lindsay Lohan's character from Mean Girls.
We're gonna do that then. We're gonna go Dr. Caddy. That's gonna be it. If we have a girl, it's gonna
Caddy
be Dr.
Heron. They keep mispronouncing her name.
Yeah.
I did not realize how creepy it was that I was in the stream before you posted the link because I just went to the same link you always use.
Well, thank you for letting me know that the same
That
link
early.
works. So that's good to know. Yeah. So you were in here before me?
No, but
Oh.
when I was trimming the flowers and you were
Trimming the
suddenly
hedges. Yeah.
yeah.
Little late for trimming the ferns.
Yeah, that's right where I was about to go, Jared. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no. All of a sudden, I just heard Steve's voice, and I was like, "Wait a minute! I'm trimming my rose bush. Like, what are you?
God?
What do you want, Steve? I have all this yellow foliage on my roses. I have to get rid of because I'm a weirdo who grows roses indoors.
No, that's pretty. That's fine. That's cool. Just be careful. Those roses.
Patty, I live in the same
you.
state as you. You're not one of the weirdos.
Well,
That's actually
there's levels to everything.
no, but close enough.
There's levels to everything. Anyways,
you need to get out to Western Mass for if you think you're weird.
I don't live in Massachusetts, but close enough.
Don't dox the doctor.
I'm not doxing her.
It's okay. Well, all right. Well, Addie, I appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much. Get your sleep so you can get up in the morning and run I haven't run 4 miles since I was in high school, so I commend you.
Half marathon training started this week, Steve. We got to get back.
You're gonna run
shape.
A marathon?
I'm gonna run a half marathon.
Half marathon.
What do you
I'm gonna talk to you.
What do you think all those medals behind her are?
I have retired from the full marathon distance, Steve.
So you have run many marathons before?
If many is now defined as 2, yes.
It's more than 1. I mean, I would call that many, but yeah, that's still impressive. Holy shit! All right, chalk that up on things I want to talk to you about, Addie, is your running career, because that does fascinate me.
Sure, I'll leave the 3 of you with a shot of all my medals.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good for you.
Good for you. No, seriously though, that is very cool. Thank you, Addie. Thank you. No, we're gonna play a little more RimWorld here and wrap up, hang out with the fellas, and get going here. It's 11:30 right now Eastern. We'll probably.
By the way,
around midnight-ish.
Yeah, that good for you was unironic.
Yeah, a little bit.
Good for you.
Good for you.
No, it was not supposed to be ironic. It was supposed to be like, yes, actually, good for you.
But
like,
no, I know. Oh no, you're good for you. Yeah. No, you're
Remember
you're fine, buddy. Don't worry.
Remember when it was funny to make fun of the ironic song because nothing she sings in it is ironic?
Oh, the Alanis Morissette. You be nice to
that.
You're talking about God, for the record. So
yeah, careful. I know. I've seen Dogma.
Be careful.
She's a sweetie, but I'm sorry. Rain on your wedding day is not ironic. That just sucks.
It's good luck, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Okay, going back to like 2000s comedies.
Okay. Yeah. Please. Love this.
Did you guys see Rat Race?
Comedies, like I can talk about 90s baseball. So go.
I like yes and no.
Rat Race.
Yeah.
Love Rat Race.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Like
I'm prairie
I haven't seen it in a while. It probably doesn't hold up very well. But yeah, I'm prairie dogging it. There's a line.
I saw Rat Race like probably in the last 2 years. I wouldn't say it like doesn't hold up. It's not too bad. It's pretty tame. It's more tame than Road Trip or American Pie or Euro Trip or like some of those early 2000s teen movies. Rat Race is pretty.
Yeah.
I think you could watch Rat Race today and it'd be fine. There's some stereotype stuff in there, but
I gotta say,
that's every comedy.
I don't think I've seen a movie that sets up jokes over time or whatever, like as well. Does that make sense? Like that whole how little things will happen and then they'll climax in a much bigger punchline. The whole thing with John Lovitz and Hitler's car.
Yeah, the car. Yeah.
They pick up the car and then there's the bit where the wife finds the lipstick in the car and he wipes it on the steering wheel.
They end up at
everything else.
Barbie museum.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
whole thing. Yeah.
But all of that culminates in him pissing off some bikers and then ending up in a World War II veteran celebration thing in Hitler's car with the lipstick now above his, like, like there
Mhm.
looking like a Hitler stash, and like his tongue has been burned somehow, so he gets to the microphone and is like, ah, and like this, and I'm like, how, like, who comes up with this? Like just the way that it all. Anyway, I could go on, but
No, I hear
yeah,
you.
Uh,
that was a
no,
great
it's
movie.
no, it's one of my favorite, probably not my favorite comedies that doesn't get enough love. Down Periscope.
Oh, that's a good
Kelsey
one.
Grammer.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good. I'm with you on that. That's a good call.
That's
That's a good
just
call.
that's just a classic '90s one right there.
These guys are gonna bitch about how small their rooms are, but fuck it, I don't really care. This is all temporary housing for now.
Well, it's
How
time
about
to
survival?
expand the business, Steve.
We're getting there. We are getting there to extend the business. So we've got Tormund, who's our like a permanent resident. This dude's this dude Mbaxios, this guy we're watching right here. He's a temporary resident. He's here for the next 2 weeks. So basically, we're getting paid to house this guy. So if we can keep him alive for 2 weeks, a shuttle's going to come by. It's going to pick him up, and we'll get paid for keeping him alive. But the good news is he works for us while we're here. So we're just going to make him do all the bitch work. So he's going to do prioritize cleaning. He's going to prioritize hauling. He's going to prioritize plant cutting. And we're just going to work this dude to the bone because what do I care? That sounds
I don't
bad,
think he
but,
did, Brady.
this is what we're doing. What did Brady say? Steve, did you adhere to Feng Shui concepts? So, Brady, here's the thing. It's funny you should mention that because the nicer you make your base, without a better, it's so cliche to say base, but there's really not a better way to put it in these kind of games. The more attractive, and because there's all sorts of furniture and all sorts of things you can do stylish wise, blah blah blah. The more attractive you make your living place for your people, the more happier they are, and at the end of the day, the less likely they are to kill each other, which is the end goal, especially when we have a Wookiee among us. So
Okay.
we need to make sure we keep him, especially since he's a force-sensitive Wookiee. 3 of our residents are force-sensitive, so we'll see if anyone else
I would just
has
slowly turn this into the Russian sleep experiment. You ever listen
Good-
to that creepypasta?
I know what you're talking about. I'm not like completely.
Oh,
I
see,
wouldn't be
that's
able to
one that I
explain it
feel
to
like.
someone, but I've seen it online.
That's a good one.
Jared,
That's one that needs to be made a horror
I
movie.
worry about you sometimes, my friend. Are you okay?
No, you see all those.
No, don't
back
answer that
there?
question. Don't say no to start
All,
that.
the,
That,
all those,
that worries me.
all
even more.
those movies behind my guitars. Yeah, those aren't movies you can just buy at the regular store
Jesus
with your
Christ.
Exorcist.
Okay, all right. I regret asking. So,
I go to horror conventions, my
I
guy.
know it's okay. No, hey man, you do you, dog. Like I'm all for it. Love is love. We're doing a little better on food now, which is good. So we're not like in dire straits of dying. Look, I put little Jedi mats in our guys' rooms that are force sensitive because I thought that would be cute. And it does help with their. See, look, our bedroom now. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, you guys can see. It's little, but there's a thing on here. Like when I hover over this, when I have a room selected. So if I click this room, because there's walls and a door, it will. If I click something in it, it'll be like, okay, this is a thing in this room. It'll give you a summary on the room, and that's how I know if the living quarters of the person is going to be happy enough. So this is currently rated. Producer Stan's bedroom is currently rated as mediocre, right? So it's got like a furniture. It's got a dog bed. It's got this. The meditation pad actually helps it. The light helps it. So those are like all positives to it. So the more you do that kind of stuff, the more they like their living arrangements and shit like that. So the whole goal was keeping these little bastards happy.
So we need a foosball table and a
you.
flat screen.
You're actually not kidding. Flat screen is literally one of the things. Let's see. If I go to recreation, I don't think I have it unlocked yet. But if I go to my research window here, and what I'm going to do is when I pull up my research window, you guys can't see half of it. So what I'm going to do is do this little thing, RimWorld corner, turn that off. So now you guys should be able to see yeah, I've got this shit figured out, boys. So this is my like research tech tree here, right? So eventually, we're looking at electricity here. I think there you go, flat screen television. I think, yeah, right where my mouse is, flat screen television. So if I research micro electronics, I can then unlock flat screen television. Or I can get it through a different little path, but it takes like a lot. Going from electricity to nutrient paste for whatever fucking reason, to tube televisions, to flat screen televisions. So that's literally a thing. And putting a flat screen television in your like little living area makes them like super happy because they're like, oh shit, that's like super cool. So sorry, I just hit the fast forward button really fast. So, but we're kind of in a pretty. It's chill right now, but we're in a good spot where we're like getting together. We've got enough food to get us through a few days each because we're killing some llamas and doing some hunting and stuff like that. Blather Ben he might even be getting better as a shot here. No,
Hey Steve, I'm gonna cut it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut in here really quick and
Please.
say that duty calls. I gotta leave.
Totally understand.
Thanks for letting me hang for a little while.
Man. Thanks for being in here.
So
we appreciate it.
You guys have a great rest of your night. Everybody in chat, have a good rest of your night. We'll see you around.
Thanks, buddy.
You stay safe, brother.
That is Ethan Osvetnik hanging out with us. Thank you for being here. Me and Jared are gonna bring you home here for a little while longer. I'm gonna play for a little bit here. I'm gonna see if I can get a couple more things done on the farm here, so to speak, before we wrap things up for episode 1 of our RimWorld playthrough. Episode 0 was working out the kinks, but I think tonight was much less of a shit show compared to yesterday. Wouldn't you think, Jared? Or at least, like, relatively speaking, less of a shit show compared to yesterday, right? Would you agree?
Yeah. No, I mean, the only issue with last time, you couldn't hear any of the callers.
Right. So yeah, we couldn't hear the callers. Well, that's because I was using Discord last night because the custom app that I tried with Addy did not work as expected. There was like a weird echo and a delay thing, even though I tested it earlier in the day and it seemed to work. But tonight we went back to StreamYard for the calls and for showing the chat, which is still a little clunky, but I'm going to get that perfected soon. I've got an idea to get that a little bit better. But the cool thing is I'm using StreamYard, but I'm actually not even like streaming through StreamYard. It's a whole complicated thing no one cares about. But it's neat. It's kind of like a nice little like workaround.
Last time I was up to date on technology, I was building a T1 network.
I don't even know what that means.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
A T1 line from like 2000.
Is that like a phone line?
Yeah, it was like the fastest way you could transfer data back in the day.
Okay. So it was like before fiber kind of thing.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
And also the picture I just sent you in Discord, that is from 2010 when I met the cast of the Human Centipede.
Hold on, I need to look at this to make sure I'm not going to get.
I would love to see Ken just judge the hell out of this outfit.
Oh man. Oh.
Look at that hat. I still have that hat.
Man, hold on. I need to pull up. I got to change the OBS scene here really quick so the people can see it.
Look at that.
Goodness gracious. So, okay, who was in this picture?
So that was the movie The Human Centipede. Those three made up the original Human Centipede.
No way. Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
And they're
people. Wow. Okay.
They're actually in order. The dude was the head. The one in blue was the middle. The one in black was the end.
Wow.
Yep. Those were the original three.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Ken said he was going to tune into this like a little bit at some point. I don't know if I necessarily believe him. He's definitely not watching 3 hours in or however the hell far we are. I'm not going to show him that picture of your hat because that seems mean. I'll let you do that on your time when you feel it's safe. But that's certainly a choice. That hat was certainly a choice. When was this picture taken?
2010.
Sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds about right. I'm proud of you.
Oh, yeah. I was giving Ken shit today during the stream, like, you're dropping this name. In the back of my head, I'm like, bro,
you pick that name you dropped?
But then in the back of my head, it's like, bro, you did press for conventions for many years. There's a lot of celebrities that know you. Jason David Frank knew who I was.
Oh, that's cool.
So
that's pretty neat. That's very neat. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of celebrity interactions. Like I said, I talked about my Nick Lachey interaction. I saw the Big Show once on a flight. He looked very uncomfortable. That dude, even in first class, he was very uncomfortable.
He's not a as his name suggests, a small man.
He is not a small man. There was like this much space between him and like the little air conditioner vent. Like on that was like yeah, I can imagine how much fun that is. Yeah, other than that, I don't think.
Did you like the fact that I found Emilia Clarke with all your Ferrari buddies?
That was cool. I thought that was pretty funny. Again, that's kind of like that's also another
and
context
I forgot to argue this
situation, but
yeah, it was because I was going to argue it in court. Then it was like, you can find photos of them. They all have polos underneath those jackets.
Yeah, again,
every
under
single
jackets,
one of them
it's again posed photos. Again, you know where my argument's coming from, though, right? Like I'm talking about, like, is there a photo of Emilia Clarke out in the wild with some guy, whether it's an actor or whatever? You know, people can date whoever the hell they want, but and the dude is just wearing a polo, and Emilia Clarke is like, that's what I'm into. That's what we're looking for and trying to prove, and I just don't think we're gonna be able to do it. Plenty with like button downs and like nice shirts and all that kind of jazz, but yeah. So, but I appreciate your. Well, the fight continues. It's not over yet. We're in an appellate court. We're working through the system. But you know,
it's not the corrupt court like
we'll
the Karen Reed trial.
Yeah, no. We'll get to the end of it for sure.
Actually, that's a funny question. Does anybody outside of Massachusetts know of the Karen Reed case?
Karen Reed.
Yep.
I can't say I'm familiar.
So it's a huge to-do in Massachusetts. This state patroller's girlfriend is on trial for the second time for his murder, and it's just if you spend 5 minutes Googling this, you'll be like, this is a police cover-up, and they're trying to frame her.
All right. Hold on. Let me pull up Firefox. What's her name?
Firefox.
Yeah, Firefox.
Karen Reed.
Hold on. Stop it. It's 2025, dog. You're still using Chrome?
Obviously. I'm
Folks,
39.
Guys. Let this be a PSA. I don't care if Ken wanted just to get a Google sponsorship at some point. Sorry, man. Gonna break that bridge right now. Get off Chrome. Start using Firefox. Because Chrome disabled uBlock Origin. And of course, don't use uBlock when you're trying to, or ad blockers when you're trying to support certain people that will live off of ad revenue, blah, 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 blah. But, dog, if you're not on Firefox using uBlock Origin, like, what are we doing? Like, that's how you get rid of all those I haven't seen an ad on a website in years because Chrome got rid of it. Chrome updated this year and they got rid of a lot of ad blockers. So, what's this woman's name? Karen what?
Reed, R-E-E-D. Hey, it could be worse. My parents still use Safari, and if they had a regular PC, they would still use Internet Explorer.
If you're not an Apple person, Safari is not terrible, to be fair. It's really not terrible. It's not horrible. It is. If you're just an Apple person, really? Okay.
Yes, it is.
Reporter's note, Karen Reed's retrial. Okay, so what did this woman do? Julia Durbin, Karen being fired.
She's being accused of killing her cop boyfriend, which he got the shit kicked out of him by somebody else, another cop, and they're trying to cover it up.
So what's the moral of the story? That's it. They're just shitty people and they're trying to cover it up.
Oh yeah,
and it's a big deal in your part of the world. Is that it?
Oh, it's huge in Massachusetts. Right? Okay. It's like it's the big to do. Like the most recent drama was they had this sweatshirt into evidence, and they're like, "See, look at all the holes on the back of the sweatshirt." And the defense is like, "Those weren't there from the accident. Your own forensic person cut those pieces out, and now you're trying to make it look like it happened."
Hold on.
It's just been the most.
Yeah. I have to call Brady out for this. I use Edge.
Edge.
Get the hell out of here, Brady, with your Edge. Okay, guys, got to get off Chromium-based browsers. Chromium-based browsers are what the ad blockers are being blocked off of. So that's why we use Firefox. Edge. Get the hell out of here. See, I have found Safari is not terrible like on my phone. I mean, I have an iPhone, so get over it. But it's not. I find it fine on my iPhone. Chrome is a little clunky on iPhone compared to Safari sometimes. So, yeah. Anyway.
Oh God! Speaking of phones, did you see the Sidekick might come back?
No way. Really?
And it's full full keyboard flippity screen glory.
I have said several times before the Sidekick was the original fidget spinner. That was like the original millennial. Like I just need to like flick something around, blah blah blah. I remember so many kids in class like in high school would just be going like just like under their desk, like flipping their sidekick around just because it was like a cathartic.
See,
experience.
I never had the sidekick. The one that I missed was, do you remember the Envy?
The Envy. What do you remember what?
It was Verizon.
Hold on, we're gonna pull it up. Oh yeah, I had this phone. Yeah. I'm pulling it up. I had this phone.
Yep.
I had
the
this
NV1,
phone.
not the NV2. The NV1 was the shit.
Well, hold on then. Let's see which one is this then. I think this is the NV.
The 2 was very square. The 1 was that's the one. That's the original.
Yeah, I had this.
That's
phone.
the one.
Yeah, I had this.
Yep,
phone.
me too. That was the best. That was the best.
I remember we had a kid in my school
phone.
who would just like he had this phone and he'd be like screwing around. He'd like be showing us something at like lunch or whatever, and he would be like He'd be like, "Oh man, check out! I modified my phone to make it a touch screen," and he would just be like fuck with you and like touch the screen, but then hit the button at the same time. And like even though you'd call him out on it, like fuck with him, he'd be like, "No, dude, I don't know what you're talking about." That's like what I remember about this phone more than anything. But yeah, dude, the kids who don't know worlds before smartphones don't understand how fucking cool the clamshell phone was. So you had the Envy. I had the Verizon Voyage. This was like my favorite this phone right here was my favorite pre-iPhone phone ever.
Oh,
I love
the
this
touchscreen Envy, basically.
Basically, yeah. This was the Verizon Voyage. Oh, that's
I
such
remember
a low
this one.
quality phone, or such a low quality image. But yeah, this phone was so fucking cool. But yeah, it was like an Envy with a bigger screen and it had a touch screen on the front.
What I miss about the old school phones was we actually had a selection of like different phones.
Verizon
you had a personality.
Chocolate. Remember this thing? Do you remember this thing?
Oh God,
this thing was so popular when it came out. Brady, I bet you've never even seen this thing, right?
It slid up. The one that Tony Stark used in the first Iron Man, where it folded into a T.
The last Envy survived so many drops onto the door. Yeah, see, right? Yeah, dude, the Envy was a tank. That thing was built like that was the closest thing we had to a Nokia brick phone back in the day. It was something like an Envy.
The batteries are still at 98%.
Right? Yeah, if you turn it off back then, it is still kicking. Like that thing was great. That was a good one. What was another staple back then? It was the Envy, the chocolate. There was another one that everybody had. What was it? There was another
the Razor.
No, not the Razor. This was after the Razor.
The Moto?
This was after the Razor. No. It was kind of was it the NV2? What did the NV2 look like?
It was a very squared looking one.
Oh yeah, I remember. I had this phone too.
Yeah, my parents gotten that one. I stuck with my original Envy.
I remember this phone.
I could.
I remember this phone. This was one of my last phones. I think before I had a smartphone. I think I had this and then the Voyager. I remember I went from the Voyager to the iPhone because my first iPhone was the iPhone 3G, which I think was like the second or third iPhone.
It was the third, I believe. It technically, we'll be real. It was really the first one because nobody cared about the other two. It was once you could actually do the internet with your iPod into it.
Yep. And I remember this was the first one. I remember when the an update came out for it where landscape mode was like a thing, right? Like it was you had to update, like it was like a giant software update that came out. It was like iOS like 3, right? And it was like, oh my god,
they
you
used
can
to be
turn
so much
your
more...
iPhone sideways and it'll do stuff sideways. It was so cool.
You know which iPhone was my favorite? The 5C.
The 5. I remember the 4. The 4 was cool because it went like square for the first time. 5C.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember these. This is when they got colors for the first time. Yeah.
And well, the thing is too, it wasn't a glass front and back. This was like a plastic style.
Yeah,
so it was hard to break.
It didn't break like super easy. Yeah.
And I miss buttons. Like I've got
like
my
the home button,
freaking Galaxy stuff now, and it's
right.
I don't like it.
Hold on, we're talking phones, and all of a sudden Brady hopped in because he's like he feels like he needs to defend himself. So Brady, you're live, buddy. What do you got to say?
Wait, defend myself for what?
I don't know. I just figured you were talking phones here, and I said something about like Brady doesn't remember stuff like the Voyager, and I figured you took offense to that, and that's why you hopped in so quick. Ranger Donald said he had the Juke. What the hell is the Juke? Let's look up the Juke.
Yeah. What carrier was that, Ranger?
What the fuck is the Juke? Ranger, is that some... I don't think...
That's Canadian.
You had this thing? No
Jesus.
way. Ranger,
You
I
were the
need to
cool
interview
kid.
you at some point. What is wrong with you? You had this phone. How did this thing not break every time you put it in your pocket?
He probably was also one of those. I have a Zoom instead of an iPod.
I'm not trying to dog on you, Ranger, but that is wild. Oh man, this phone, I remember looking at this thing and being like, I would break this thing in 3 seconds. And yeah, no,
Right.
because it looks like this, right? But it flipped up. Like this picture is a good representation. Yeah, it like
Oh,
and it
wow.
like snapped. It was like a whole thing. Okay, so Ranger, if you had it up like that, right? If you had it in the upright position and you're talking on the phone. So I remember back in the day when we had like regular clamshell cell phones, we could snap the phone closed to passive aggressively hang up on someone, right? And we don't have that anymore with glass smartphones. So with this phone, Ranger Donald, could you close it like aggressively to like hang up a call? Like if you're on the phone and it's like this and you slip it down, does that would that hang up a call? I really hope yes. Oh yeah, this is definitely one of those like family plan like kind of things. But that would be so satisfying if that's how that went. Because that this phone looked so futuristic when it came out, but it was
Now,
just so damn
here's-
small.
Here's a modern day question, Steve. When does your child get a cell phone?
Oh.
That's a great question.
Today at work, I found out my manager, his youngest of 3, who is around 7, I think he is 7 years old, has an iPhone, and
What?
I gave him such shit for that.
What?
Oh, Ethan, Sven mentions anyone have the LG rumor? I think I remember that phone too. So wait, say that age again, Jared?
7.
7 years
for an
old has
iPhone?
Jesus.
You should not have full access to the actual internet at
No.
7 years old. That's
Yeah.
just not a good idea.
I mean, I don't know if there's parental locks on it. I would like to assume there is, but it's just the mere fact a
I remember this
7-year-old
phone.
has some kind of cell phone. So
I remember this
how
phone.
old until your Padawan receives its first communicator?
Ethan, this is like the Sprint version of the Envy, so this is pretty damn close. No, okay, so quick background on that. I had my first cell phone in 4th grade, in 2000, and that is because, or ish, right around then, and that is because my parents were newly divorced. I lived with my dad, who was a bachelor. We were living out. It was just me and my dad. He had absolutely no idea what he was doing. And so he got me a cell phone so that he could just like send me on my way and always had a way to reach me. I had 3 contacts in my cell phone for about the first year and a half that I owned it: mom, dad, and my cousin. And that was, my cousin was just her home phone, like my uncles and aunts and all my other cousins. So it was just, that was like the only person I would ever like call to talk on the phone, because I was in 4th grade, and then I lost it in a go-kart. I left it in a go-kart about 6 months after getting it, and my dad was pissed. So anyway, I think middle school is a good line. I think when they're in middle school and they're like, when you start leaving the kid places, like, it's one thing if they're out in the neighborhood and playing outside and doing stuff like that, but I think now in this day and age, I think middle school, 6th grade is like a decent line, like as of right now, from a standpoint of like, that's a good kind of time to put, give them that freedom, right? Because then you can, just make sure they're okay, like, shit like that. I think that's where I would put that.
Yeah. As someone who was a kid when smartphones were a thing, don't give your kids smartphones.
Right. Okay. So Brady, as someone, as a young person, I imagine you saw this in school then. So like, where, like, what is too young in your opinion? Like, where's the line?
I think like late high. I agree with Ethan. Like late high school is probably a good time to get like a smartphone, because then you can have some more responsibility.
I didn't have a cell phone until I was a senior in high school, I think.
Yeah.
Adam Knight makes a great point in the chat here. He says, my daughter got her first phone at 9, and he said he just got divorced, wanted to be able to call at any time going through.
True.
It's just exactly where I got my phone, right? I had my phone because my dad was like a single bachelor, didn't know what the hell he was doing. It was like, I need to be able to call you if you're just like out somewhere and I don't know where the hell you are because I don't know what I'm doing.
Did your parents...
Sorry, go ahead.
My parents were never divorced or anything like that, but I always heard like,
Lucky
did they do the parent fight thing where I got my kid all this thing. Well, I'm gonna get the kid all this thing, and were you just epically spoiled?
No, no, don't get me wrong. I was a very fortunate kid, and I was luckier than most. But my parents were pretty good about avoiding that kind of angle of it. I played my parents more off of each other when they were together than when they were divorced, for sure. Because like when my mom would say no, I would go to dad when they were together. But then when they were divorced, it was more of like they both just said no, and I just had to get over it. But I lived with both independently growing up. Like I lived with my mom for a few years, I lived with my dad for a few years, and then I lived with my mom for a little bit, and then eventually so I went back and forth. It was a whole thing. My whole life story is fucked up, but it was interesting because it was a whole different life experience. My dad was the breadwinner when we were, together. My mom was not, so that was a very different experience. Living with my mom versus living with my dad, all that kind of stuff. But it shaped a lot of good, I think, life experiences and giving like perspective and all that kind of jazz. So that I think kind of helps me not feel like I need to spoil my kids for them to get their shit together, kind of stuff. I don't know where that was going. Go ahead, Brady. Sorry.
Yeah, my only issue with like young kids having smartphones is like when they bring it into school, it's so easy to get distracted.
Oh
like,
my god, yeah.
I mean, all the kids who had iPhones were just playing games during class.
Of course,
it's really easy.
Of course they are. This is so fucking easy. Yeah.
I got distracted just watching them play because I didn't have I had a Nokia brick phone until I was a junior in high school, and then I didn't even get an iPhone.
Here's the thing.
What was your first iPhone, Brady?
I never owned an iPhone really. I got my old parents' old like iPhone 5 or something.
Okay.
And then I just switched to like different Android devices. But yeah, what were you saying?
Got it. Go ahead, Jared. Jared, can you not break terms of service for a minute and a half? I've had a lot of we did a Ken show before. I've been drinking since like 7:00. I need to go pee.
Go for it.
All right, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Just I paused the game.
No, I was gonna say
hopefully nobody died. Actually, we'll hit play. We'll see what happens.
As soon as the kids got phones, I remember we were distracted because we had Snake on the phone.
Mm.
And that was a great game. Nice and simple.
The Snake is
go to the bathroom,
awesome.
Steve. You're dancing in your seat. And you're muted.
I was making sure I was muted, but the stream could still hear you, so we're good. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, Lordy. What are we going to do with him?
We love you, producer Steve.
Well, and you young whippersnapper. You know,
what are you going to do with me?
You and your LA loyalties.
What can I say? LA? I love LA. Made a song about it.
Oh God. What time's the game tomorrow? 8:30 for the NBA, huh?
8:30. 5:30. Oh yeah, Eastern time. Yeah. Wait, so what you had Snake on your phone in high school?
Yeah, the original game on any old cell phones they all came with Snake.
Did you have Tetris?
No, they couldn't support Tetris.
Damn,
Snake was the epitome of mobile gaming.
Wow. I think my mom had when I was a kid, she had a Razor, like the flip Razor, and it had enough horsepower to do Tetris, and it was only a trial version of Tetris. So I would play 5 minutes of Tetris like all the time. That was fantastic.
Okay, we used to spend money on ringtones, Brady.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yep. And now I don't remember the last time I put the volume ringer on my phone. It's been on vibrate for about 15 years.
Oh yeah, I used to like in high school. We used to download ringtones on our smartphones.
Yep.
But now it's just like it's whatever.
Oh God, we can make you used to be able to make your own MIDI file for a song.
Yeah. Oh man, I remember those days.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're a musician. You remember all the good MIDI stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what I just remembered while I was going pee? I'm sorry to cut you off, Brady. We have a head to put on a spike, Jared, but continue now. Go ahead.
That's right.
Awesome. Metal.
Sorry, continue your conversation.
Oh God.
I'm just reminiscing about phones.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're still on phones? Okay, so what was your
Well,
first
actually, I was
phone,
just gonna.
What was your first cell phone ever? Did you already say that?
First cell phone ever. Oh, damn, I don't remember the model. It was like some kind of. It was a flip phone. I got from AT&T. This was this random dumb phone I got. I was in middle school, like in 7th grade. I got my first phone, and then everyone else had like a smartphone. I was like a hipster. I was like, I can get around with only, you know, with only my keypad. I texted people with my number pad for the longest time.
Yeah.
Oh,
T9 texting, baby.
That was so fun. Oh man. And then I downgraded to a Nokia. So I used to have a flip phone, then I just got a Nokia brick phone. And
That is never a downgrade, my friend.
that's true. Yeah, that thing, I lost it. Damn. But
That's why I think protests, instead of starting to bring bricks to protests, we just bring old Nokias.
those things are so durable. Oh my god. Yeah, I think I dropped mine to like from a. I think I tested after I got a smartphone. I think I dropped it from like the second floor and it still worked.
Nice. Hey, I will say this though. I used to be, especially when I started getting the smartphones, used to have all the cases, OtterBoxes and stuff. Shit would always break. I haven't had a case on this phone in a few years. Nothing. Cases are a myth, people.
You raw dog your phone.
I don't even have a screen protector on it.
You're a crazy person.
That is what I definitely need a screen
Jared,
protector.
for the record, I
no
thought you were a
crack.
completely normal person up until now. Now I know for a fact you are an absolute crazy person.
Oh, I'm a psycho, I'm sure.
You absolutely are. Holy shit.
Oh wait.
So okay, Jared. So just a quick update. I asked Tormund to prioritize extracting the skull from the prisoner. So now we're gonna haul the skull. So once the skull is in our inventory, we'll be able to build our skull spike.
Nice. I like.
Just for you, buddy. Don't say I never did anything for you. All right. We need to figure out what we're gonna do with this little room down here. I built this as like a little expansion that we need, but
apothecary.
So drug lab.
You said it.
Say what it is. Well, here's the thing, because that is a drug production is a research thing. We're on batteries right now. I need batteries first. Sorry, we need to get batteries, but after batteries, we can go drug production. I mean, that'll only make things more interesting. That'll only make because things have been a little slow right now, to be honest.
We're gonna turn Steve into Heisenberg.
Well, I'm just saying, you can.
I've actually never watched Breaking Bad.
I haven't either, not all the way through, because it was in the era of like everyone on TV was an anti-hero. I was a big Mad Men guy, and I was just like, I
liked Mad Men. I watched that one.
I don't need to watch like 4 shows where everyone's a shithead all the time. You know what I mean? Like I need to root for someone like that's why I loved Ted Lasso when it came out, because I was like, oh, thank God, there's like a decent human being to watch a TV show about for once. Like that's somewhat refreshing.
That's one of the reasons I can't watch Shameless. I'm like, I don't need to watch a show about a bunch of awful people.
Yeah, but yeah, that's true. Shameless for me was just there's a lot of attractive people on that show that make it easier to watch. I'll put it that way.
That's my reasoning for watching
K-dramas. I was your typical 2000s kid who like loved watching Entourage with all his boys, like in college and everything. It was like a ritual for us in college. Like on Sunday nights, there would be like 15 of us sitting in someone's living room all watching.
Let me guess, you did the Entourage, Game of Thrones, and probably late night with Last Week Tonight with Oliver.
No, this was pre Last Week Tonight. This was late 2000s. This was right at the beginning of Game of Thrones. Oh, so it was Entourage, the first season basically of Game of Thrones, and then this is the one you're not going to guess. True Blood. That was the thing that you got 15 college-age dudes to sit together and watch. You know why? Because there are so many hot chicks in True Blood. I'll just go ahead and say it. It's the Backstage. It's 12:07 a.m. There are so many hot girls in True Blood. So it was and it was just a dumb, funny like TV. And so that's what we would like wind down with at night. We'd watch Game of Thrones, Entourage, True Blood. That was our Sunday nights in college on HBO. It was so that way we 15 dudes would go to someone's house. One dude would pay for HBO. We would all like chip in a little bit for like beer and like whatever to make it up for it. And it was so much. Those were the good old days. Those were the good old days. You don't remember them you don't realize it till they're gone. But those were the good old days.
That is very true.
JMP
Yeah.
says I couldn't watch shitheads laugh, think they were funny. You're not wrong. You're not. That's why I never got into sci-fi with Veep. So I hear you with that. So Veep I actually did really like, just because I thought it was funny, and I thought the writing was really funny as far as like the jokes and everything. But, and I'm not trying to get too political, but post 2016, actually I don't give a fuck. Post 2016, Veep was a lot less funny, just because it was like Veep was funny because like this would never happen was part of the element of it, like from a funny standpoint. And now Veep is just not at all. Veep isn't even like close to being like, Veep is so fucking tame compared to some of the shit. Like it's just like, and even they've come out and said that, like it's crazy.
When Idiocracy was a movie and not a documentary.
Right. No, Alex C brings up a good point too. Silicon Valley is another good one. Especially the early seasons of Silicon Valley were really, really good. That was another dude. Sunday night HBO had a great block of TV there for a little while.
HBO really owned it. That's why.
Yeah.
Like, why would you drop the HBO and go, "We're Max"? No, you're not.
Yeah, that was a whole weird. That was a weird.
Max was Skinamax. That's the only reason we remember Max.
And it wasn't even Cinemax that they like dropped it for. They just like took the name or whatever. Cinemax is still like its own thing, I think. But yeah. Oh, Parks and Rec. That's another good one. So that was a different day, right, Brady? So Sunday was HBO day and AMC day. Dude, Sundays were so busy because it was like Mad Men, then Game of Thrones, Mad Men, Entourage, Game of Thrones. True Blood. Sometimes it was mixed up because Entourage and Game of Thrones weren't always on at the same time. But Mad Men was on AMC. Breaking Bad was on AMC. A bunch of the boys watched Breaking Bad, so that was kind of part of the rotation. But Parks and Rec was a Thursday show, I think. I want to say that was like a midday show, but that was like one of our midday rotation shows. That with like Modern Family and shit like that. Parks and Rec was a good one. I love Parks and Rec.
Oh my! I forgot that. Yeah, there were days when things were on air. I know, right? Forgot about that. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I watched Parks and Rec on streaming.
Yeah, no, oh really? Oh no, dude. Yeah, Parks and Rec was part of NBC's. So here you go, Brady. So NBC was famously used to be known for their Thursday night comedy block. That was like their thing.
Oh.
So that was when The Office came. Well, way back when. I think that was when like Friends and Mad
Friends,
About
Home
You.
Improvement.
Oh, Home Improvement was on it. Okay,
it
was like that was their
era.
traditional. Yeah, that was like that. Ken is probably, if he ever watches this, there's no way he's watching this, but he's probably yelling at us. But anyways, Thursday on NBC's was like their comedy block, and then when I was growing up, it was The Office. It was My Name Is Earl. It was a bunch of shows like that came out like right around that same time. But those were, and then on ABC it was Modern Family, and all these shows came on at like Wednesdays or Thursdays, between 8 and 9ish or whatever. So we would watch those shows in college too. Like we were big, we'd watch Modern Family because that was pretty funny.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Dude, I admit I
Always Sunny is another good one. Yeah.
I watched most of these shows sailing to the seven seas.
Oh, of course. No, I hear that. Especially nowadays, it's a lot easier to do that. Well, especially before the pre-streaming times, we have a colonist that's idle, and that's not good. Oh, it's because
back then, like
we need
I was a kid. I didn't have cable as a kid, or any TV, so I had to find a ways to watch TV back then.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
I had a TV. I had a 12-inch TV with the VCR in my room, and it only got one channel, and it was just there for my VHSs. And
what?
Yep, I got one channel.
Wow.
It was UPN. And that's how I watched Star Trek Voyager.
I was gonna say that was a big Star Trek channel. I was gonna say, I bet you watched a lot of like White Sox, like Chicago White Sox games as well, or like, or at least it was on all the time. Because I remember like Cubs game, because it was a Chicago station, right? UPN was just a Chicago-based thing. Yeah. All right, we need to build a Taylor bench here because our boy Tormund is running around naked, and that's we need to get him some fucking clothes.
We're doing
pretty good on food.
I used to love Home Improvement when I was growing up watching it.
We need more food.
I've seen, because of TikTok, clips and old episodes of it.
Yeah.
That show was awful.
What, Home Improvement?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was a product of its time. It was a product of its time.
Really, that's why I try not to judge it too much, but I'm just watching it like, this is a very awful sexist and racist show.
Our standards were a lot lower back then, Jared. That's one of the things to remember there. Our standards were a lot lower back then.
They were. But one of my favorite shows, and a show that I will say was the greatest TV show ever, MASH.
Love MASH.
From the 70s and 80s holds up
Love
great.
MASH.
So society, like, even those early episodes where Hawkeye's just a big old slut.
Yo, I've always wanted to get my parents to watch MASH because my parents were like in my parents' parents' generation were like on the opposite side of that war.
Right.
So I've always been fascinated like how that show would deal with the conflict. But yeah, I've never seen MASH myself.
Now, are you?
Oh, they don't get too much into the fighting of it. It's, I mean, when they get real with it is when they talk about it, but it really is more about just the life, like the everyday lives of like the people working in the military hospital.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a joke about the fact that the doctors have like a still in their barracks and like they're trying to get away with doing like, as little work as possible.
That's that's like the first few seasons are definitely more on the comedy, but especially as it gets later, it gets very serious and deals with a lot of issues of like PTSD.
It gets a lot more real.
And,
yeah.
Like,
yeah,
the whole it wasn't a chicken, it was a baby. If you don't know, or if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Oh damn, I don't know. I'm scared.
Yeah.
That sounds intimidating.
Just Google that one. I don't feel like touching that one on the Backstage today, Brady.
Yeah.
That's all right, especially not after 12 o'clock. We're gonna wrap up here in a little while.
But speaking of, I wanted to bring up the Mad Men again.
I love Mad Men. Do it.
Who was your Mad Men? Who was your character of choice? Who was your
Roger
spirit
Sterling.
animal? Yes,
100%.
yes.
Not even
Thank
close.
you.
Minus the blackface episode. Different time. We've all made mistakes. I get it. But yeah, Roger Sterling was my spirit animal, 100% for sure. I love that guy.
Oh,
he was the comedic touch that you needed on the show just to make it. Yeah.
He was
Perfect right of misogyny and
comedy. Yeah, exactly.
And funniness. Yeah.
And
Self-awareness too. I think Roger was the one that like Roger Sterling was the one on the show that like knew how shitty everyone was and just knew that they were all just playing a game, but he's like, if that's the case, we're just going to play the game. Like, at least I'm going to be self-aware about it. At least I'm going to be honest with myself about it and be like, yeah, no, I'm not going to pretend that we're not shitty people. Like, let's be honest.
Right.
Yeah,
no, that's
a great show. If you've never watched Mad Men out there, folks, holy shit.
I gotta finish Mad Men.
Dude, it's so good.
For me. I've only watched the first season like Breaking Bad. I need to finish it.
Oh, wow. Mad Men has one of the best pilot episodes, I think, of any
Dude, it is amazing.
Yeah.
That is
one of the best pilot episodes ever.
I had to write a paper about that pilot episode.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. During my freshman year of college, like, it was one of the shows that we had to research, so we got it for free. The first season, at least. Yeah, that was awesome.
Awesome.
Also, interestingly, we had to watch the first season of the Kardashians.
I'm so sorry.
What?
It was an interesting class, but it made me realize like the Kardashians and a lot of reality shows of that era, like they're very tropey. They followed like a lot of the same tropes, but like
you want to know where it all went wrong, Brady? Go back and watch The Simple Life. That's where it all went downhill. That's where those reality shows all.
But if you look at the behind the scenes of those reality shows, it's all like the same 3 or 4 producers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just.
Yep. And it was Seacrest back in the day. I think he was one of the ones that was behind a lot of them.
It's like all those propaganda shows. It's like they're all just Law and Order.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
I wish I knew you were going to say that. Speaking of Law and Order. Wait, I don't have my... Wow, fuck, where's my thing? No, where is it? God, timing is a bitch. There it is.
Nice.
Oh, like, Jared, I think you were complaining earlier about like why they changed it to Max. So you want to hear some like the insider story of why that happened?
Oh, please give us the scoop, Brady.
So because like when Discovery first merged with Warner Brothers, like they had a lot of reality shows that they wanted to put in the same streaming service, and they were like, we don't want to cheapen the HBO brand with putting all these reality shows onto the streaming service. When reality was like, people don't want the reality shows in the first place, but they really wanted those reality shows, and so like, okay, let's just take out Max, take out HBO because that's like the quality stuff, and let's just put it in just like Max.
You know what? I can kind of respect the pettiness of it. I really can. It's like, you know what? We might be You might have married into the family, but I'm not calling him dad.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's a mess. Yeah, I mean, if we want to talk shit about Warner Bros, I'm all game right now.
I mean, you can talk shit about any studio.
Yeah,
They're all
that's true.
evil.
Yeah.
Even studios I like Blumhouse or A24. It's like, no, there's awful things, I'm sure.
Oh,
So yeah, what A24 is like the new hotness on the block. What did they do? What is the
It's just, it's the indie side of it. They do small budget things that turn huge profits. Like
right.
They're responsible for Heretic and Hereditary,
Yeah.
Lady Bird, Uncut
They did the
Gems.
Lighthouse too, right?
Oh God,
Was that A24? The one with
I-
Willem Dafoe where you went like
I
fucking
don't know.
crazy?
I don't know if that was them.
Oh, okay.
They did Everything
It seems
Everywhere
like
All
an
at
A24
Once.
movie. Did they do the new
one movie?
Nosferatu movie? Was that A24?
I'm looking it up.
Someone look that up. I'm playing a video game. I can't host and produce my own show. God damn it. Hey, Laser's here, doing some forest meets, dude. Thanks for checking in late. We appreciate you hanging out.
No, that was
like,
not
It
A24.
wasn't A24. Oh.
Yeah, it was
No.
Focus Features.
Oh, okay. That was Pattinson and
Robert Eggers
and Defoe, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of those movies you watch once and then you never see again because it just fucks you up a little bit.
Again, I've seen some bad movies.
Yeah, well, you're a different animal, Jared.
I am.
Nothing changes you.
Some Korean directors are crazy.
Oh God.
They explore some shit.
Brady, have you ever heard of the Korean movie Grotesque?
Grotesque? Oh Jesus, I've not, but
I would not recommend Googling it if you're not prepared.
grotesque. Wait, a Korean or Japanese?
Oh God, I was raised to believe it was Korean,
Careful,
but it
Jared.
might be Japanese.
Okay.
But
Is it 2009?
yes,
Okay, yeah, it's a Japanese one. Oh jeez, that looks.
I'm
Okay.
super ignorant when it comes to foreign films. So that's
Yeah,
one
so
definitely
yeah,
one of my
Japanese horror as
so
well.
the basic premise is psychopath gets off on torturing people, kidnaps couple on first date, does very graphic things to them to proceed to make himself feel better about life. And then the ending has one of the like most extreme horror, extreme gore. The endings are always like this hilarious, like what the hell. So obviously nobody's gonna watch it, I doubt. So spoiler: the main girl gets her head cut off, and you see it fly through the air, tumbling, and she smiles, and then as she comes down, she bites the bad guy's neck to make him bleed out.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, damn.
What are we doing?
I love this.
Oh my god.
Trust me.
Oh my God.
But getting to that point is quite the gory ride.
I'm sure. It sure sounds like it.
Oh yeah.
My fucking plants are taking a long
Oh,
time.
man.
Like one of my current favorites, I call my comfort movies. That's one of a newer one. Is
I'm sorry, Jared. I have to
no,
interrupt
go
for a
ahead.
second. Muffalo have arrived on the map, and this is a big
Ooh.
big development for us. Oh, and we have a quest to do now. So I'm gonna actually try to. So we're gonna find a female Muffalo. We're gonna try to tame her. There's a male Muffalo. We're gonna tame that one. You folks
is
don't
that
know
those?
why.
Oh no, those are the different ones. What was those big Pokemon looking ones last night?
Oh, those things were so cool. Those are called Thrumbos. And
That's
those
what
are like mystical creatures. They come in and out we're actually really lucky we saw them so early. We probably won't see them again for a really long time. But Muffalos, these are kind of animals that kind of come and go fairly like during the different seasons because we're in summer now. We started in spring. But these dudes are really good because we want to see if we can tame these guys and keep them kind of like cattle because they have wool, like really good wool that we can use for clothing that we need for winter. Because we're going to need to equip our friends with some winter clothes here pretty soon before it gets too cold. So instead of killing all these Muffalo, we're going to attempt to tame a couple of them.
I was going to think, can you just build a fence around them or lasso?
That's exact. So what we're going to do is so you see this little farm we have here? We built this fence here with this farm. I put this pen marker here. the pen marker allows this. It basically designates this as like an animal pen, so it can double as both my farm and an animal pen. So once someone tames an animal, so I think Little and I think Ben have good. Ben definitely does because we're not going to get into it, but Ben has very good animal skills, if you know what I mean, and he is going to hopefully tame some of those muffalos, and he will automatically bring them into our pen here. And the amount of animals you can have in your pen is dependent on how big it is, based on how much like shit they can actually eat, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say you got to be able to take care of your life.
Exactly. So, and if I need to, if it's too small, one of the things I can grow is hay grass to give them extra food. Blah 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 blah. So this game, like I said, this game's fucking crazy deep as hell. So we're gonna get Ben. And we're going to bring him down here and have him prioritize taming the muffalos. So, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What were you saying, Jared?
No, I was going to say one of my newer comfort movies that came out in 2021 from Taiwan was called The Sadness. And it's basically a rage virus that hits that turns you into the most depraved, screwed up version of yourself. Like, cannibalism, necrophilia, and murder all can occur, and not necessarily in that order. It's kind of what happens. It's based on like one of my favorite comic books called Crossed, where it's same idea. This virus doesn't turn you into a zombie; it turns you into just this awful person.
That's
like
so much worse somehow.
I'm trying to think of like how to describe it without getting completely like. So in the comic book version, there's a villain of one of the Cross people who beats people to death with the reproductive organ of a male horse.
What?
Yes.
I'm gonna go to Laserbolt's message here, or no, JMB's here talking about how we got stuff fixed. Just because I don't know how to react to that, Jared. At the moment, I'm gonna try to collect my thoughts, and deflect. Yeah, Laserbolt. No, I changed some setup stuff. I'll talk about it here as a moment as I try to talk about whatever the hell, or wrap my head around whatever the hell it is Jared just said. So last night I was using some like custom software and shit to try to do calls, and I thought I could be fancy and all that kind of stuff, and the internet kicked my ass a little bit, and so we pivoted to Discord. Didn't have the settings set up for that great for the sound, so it didn't come out great. So episode 0 is a bit of a shit show, so that's why it's episode 0. But tonight we have a much better setup. We're using StreamYard for calls, but I'm not streaming through StreamYard. So I know Laserbolt would appreciate this as someone who also makes stuff. I'm actually just using OBS for the stream, using StreamYard for the calls, and theoretically, this means I don't have to pay for StreamYard anymore because the StreamYard free plan allows me to do everything I'm doing with StreamYard right now. It allows Jared and Brady and anyone who calls to see the stream, see themselves, see the chat, but I'm actually running the stream through OBS. So that's my nerd hour there for a second. I love OBS too, Laserbolt. That is like, it's literally one of my favorite things ever. But here I am like holding that fucking chat bar up there. That's nothing there. Anyway, Jared, you need to tell me these things, man. Like, Steve, there's a black bar on the screen. Get rid of it. Like, come on, man. I can't produce the show and host it at the same time. Damn it. I got a lot going on. All right. Yep. Anyways, please continue.
Oh yeah, no, that was just the comic, and so there's another, like, how do I put this? So in the movie, a poor individual gets stabbed in the eye with the end of an umbrella, and that particular wound makes another gentleman very excited about life and proceeds to, yes.
What?
I don't. There's a fresh hole, Steve.
God damn it, Jared.
Jesus.
All right, well, at least it's after midnight at this point, but yeah, okay. All right,
the funny thing is, J&B, the first Human Centipede movie is very tame. Like, it's not actually this graphic, awful thing that people think it is. It's the idea of it. It's more psychological. Like, yes, you see it, but it's a very sterile, very clean movie. As you go down the Centipede trilogy, the next movie keeps turning the last one into a Disney movie. So you've got the first one, very sterile, very clean. The second one was filmed in black and white because it was too screwed up to film in color.
Oh jeez.
Oh jeez.
And then the third, and so the second one has a 12-person centipede. The third one,
yeah, I remember that.
Yep. And each sequel treats the others like movies. So you watch the second movie is about an obsessed fan of the first movie who goes nuts and makes his own centipede in a parking garage. You know? So
that sounds lovely.
And then the third one treats the other two like movies, and it's set in a prison. And in order to keep the prison population in line, they make a 500-person centipede.
When I think of human centipede, I just immediately go to the South Park episode.
The human
That's what I think
centipede.
of. Yeah, the human centipede. That's what I always think of when I think of the human centipede. I love that episode.
Who thought of this?
And especially if you've
Tom
never
Frick,
seen.
He is a Austrian filmmaker. He's not well. Tom Six is an interesting individual if you ever look him up. Let's put it this way. The movie he's currently been trying for over a decade now to get funding, to get it released, and the way he thinks it should be, because he thinks he's a lot better than he is. I love Tom, but he's psycho and has an ego issue. It's the Onea Club, and there's a teaser out there. And in the teaser, it is rich white women watching footage of 9/11 and getting off on it.
What?
Yeah, that's the teaser.
Okay. I don't know how to react to that.
I'm
I was
guessing
going to
these
say Brady,
are.
but I'm not going to put you on the spot for that either, because that's not fair.
I'm guessing these are like really like far away, 3 generations away from 9/11.
You fucking better. You would
yeah.
hope
No,
so.
I mean, Tom Six is a little older than me, but this teaser came out in like 2015-ish, 2017-ish. But he's gotten offers to get it released, but he thinks it deserves more pomp and circumstance. It's like, bro, you made the human centipede. Just let somebody put it on DVD and don't worry.
Yeah. Oh, I meant like the characters are going off of the 9/11 attacks. Yeah.
Okay. No, it's like it looks like the way the teaser happens. It looks like it's 9/11 was just probably 10 years ago, kind of thing from the movie's perspective.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I remember when I was a kid, like I think my class was like the first class that didn't really remember it, and we kind of made the first 9/11 jokes like as kids.
I mean, hey, it's bound to happen. Eventually,
Yeah.
somebody made the first World War II jokes.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I mean, they were making Hitler jokes during World War II. Yeah, like what was it called? The Great Dictator by.
Oh yeah.
Why am I blanking on his name? A famous actor.
Charlie Chaplin.
Charlie Chaplin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one.
Shit, I forgot what I was gonna say. I had something. What were we saying right before that?
Human centipede.
No, not human centipede. Oh, no, it wasn't even 9/11 related, but it was like adjacent to that. Damn it, I don't remember now. Oh well, it'll come to me.
Just jokes about awful things.
Yeah.
How many years removed can you start making a joke about something terrible that happened?
It's cliche to say it depends, but it does kind of depend. I think with 9/11, it took after Iraq happened, you could start making 9/11 jokes. That's my opinion, because it was like, all right, we stepped over the line and kind of stuck our ass out a little bit. So like 4 or 5 years after 9/11, I think that's when the first jokes started becoming. I bet South Park made a 9/11 joke by 2005, 2006.
That would be something interesting to look into. I'll have to do a little research.
They did.
We'll put it on the list that you told Ken.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
When
the
I was-
list that definitely exists. Yeah.
When I was in kindergarten, instead of London bridges falling down,
Jesus, Brady, you
gosh.
don't have to finish. You don't have to finish. Don't finish the thought. Do yourself a favor. It's fine. The internet's forever, Brady. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Well,
pretty funny though. Not really, but the situation is funny. I know what you
we
mean.
were
But I do
like,
love how
four.
like 9/11 became the millennials version of like, where were you when Kennedy was assassinated?
Right.
Where
No,
were
totally.
you when...
No, I think I've said this before, but that was my that's kind of like my opinion on what is the difference between a millennial and a Zoomer. And Brady, I'm interested in your thought on this. A millennial, to me, a millennial is someone like the end of a millennial, right? Like the end of like the window basically is one of two things. It's either you remember what the world was like before 9/11, like genuinely what the world existed like before 9/11, and or you remember what the world was like before we relied on the internet or like openly used the internet for just about everything. If you don't remember that, you're 100% a Zoomer, in my opinion. That's kind of like the divide.
Yeah,
Thoughts,
no,
Brady?
I can agree to that.
Yeah, I think there's like nowadays even further subdivides because I think generations are based on technology, right?
Right. Yeah, technology and cultural experience, I think, are
Yeah.
like big culture changing experiences. Like I think
Yeah.
COVID is going to be another one of those
Oh, yeah.
separators.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? COVID's going to be one of those things like kids that remember the world before COVID, kids that don't remember the world before COVID. That's going to be
Right.
like whatever Gen Alpha or after Gen Alpha is.
Gen Beta.
There's
I'm
no
sorry.
way they're
Beta?
going to let themselves be called Gen Beta. There's
I
just
think
no
they already
way.
did.
They are.
can't-
They already
there's-
are.
Oh my gosh. See, we've got to do something about that.
Hey, this is
We-
how we
we have to.
reclaim beta. Like we got to reclaim beta. Like,
Well,
like
but-
beta testing.
Actually, you know what it is?
But that's
Wait,
not
is
even
your
good. But beta testing even isn't good though. Like it's
Steve,
it's stress
Steve,
testing.
you're-
It's like
you have a
yeah,
new
go ahead.
baby being born this year?
Yeah, I do.
So guess what? This year starts Generation Beta. Your baby is the first year of Gen Beta.
I refuse to let my baby be a generation beta. We'll think of
Yep.
think of a better name by then.
2025 to 2039 is Generation
think of-
Beta.
We'll think of something better. Wait, so that means my daughter that was born in 2023 is a Alpha?
Alpha.
She is an
That's-
elder
And
alpha.
alpha.
I can tell you
Oh,
right
no,
now,
no.
she's a crazy toddler, is what she is.
We invent new names. Like
Of course.
I'm
It's
more
all
of a zillennial, you know. I
Right.
think they invented the term xenial as well.
Right. Yeah, you're like
Yeah,
right
well-
on the line. You're right on the line.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like people think I'm old because I have
Gen
a
beta
1.9
cuts.
in my driver's license. I
Right.
was like, come on.
Right.
Are you even 25 yet, Brady?
I'm 26.
Look at that. Look at that.
And yeah. Jeez,
Alright.
I think I'm trying to remember who was I think Sabrina Carpenter is like almost the same age as me. Yeah. Sabrina Carpenter.
I love how the internet is so angry
She
at
seems like a
her
nice lady,
fucking
too.
album cover.
What's her
Yeah,
album
I
cover?
for the
Oh,
the
so-
discourse about that has been interesting.
So
Oh, have
she
you
is
seen it,
on her-
Brady?
She's
I
on her
haven't seen it.
hands and knees.
Google
and you
it.
see-
No. Just Google. No. Don't taint the jury pool, Jared. Google it, Brady.
Oh.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Yeah. And now Google. Now make sure this is a personal computer, not a work computer or anything. Now Google Sabrina Carpenter Rolling Stone cover, because this came out like a week after the album cover
Oh, I
was
didn't even
released.
see the.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I'm not looking at it yet.
So she's
I mean, it's
she's
just some grass, right?
full court press by Sabrina Carpenter.
I see.
Is all I'm saying.
It's blurred.
Good for her. Like I said, she seems like a very nice lady. Is all I'm gonna say. But but you know what I did like? What I saw was she's been getting all this press for the album cover. Everyone's talking about it. Blah blah blah. Some people are mad about it. Yada yada yada. She went to social media and said, "Hey, here's a link to donate to like starving kids." I think it was like starving kids in Palestine or like something like that, right? She did something that was like, "Hey, take all this energy and like do something good with it." I don't know if that's the exact
Right.
cause. It might have been something about protests or something like that. But she turned it around and was like, "Hey, if you guys are all going to be shitting on me, here, use the intention and do something. Do
She's
this
like,
with it."
hang
So,
on, I
that was
am
cool.
a cis straight female who enjoys men. Like, oh my god, I just
God
people,
forbid.
man.
God forbid she
Right.
expressed that. I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I understand where some feminists are like, "Oh, this is like degrading." Whatever. You can have your opinions. I totally understand. But I don't know. I think it's a little. You know, when we try to be so artistic and freedom of speech with art and stuff, I don't know. I get a little. It gets annoying. when we get a
I
little
get
pearl
upset
clutching
over
as well
it.
about that kind of stuff.
I get
That's
upset
all.
over it as somebody who is big into the BDSM lifestyle, where it's like, people don't realize like a submissive action like that, how powerful that is. Like
Right.
submissives in a submissive dominant relationship, the submissive has, in a proper like actual one, not just awful people, the submissive has all the power. Like they are in more control of that situation than it looks like. Because again, if you're doing it right with the consent, the conversations beforehand,
that person's kind of setting the bar as far as where that makes sense. That makes sense.
You know,
I
it's
appreciate
you know, it's
yeah.
It's just like, you know, she's not being told to do this, and like it's not the 60s anymore with Betty Page or, you know, Marilyn Monroe. It's like, no, you're gonna do this because we told you to.
Right.
She is actively being like, no, this is powerful to me. I am choosing this.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Yeah.
JB, I think... Pearl Clutchy, I don't know if you're asking like what that is. Pearl Clutchy is like that might just be like a figure of speech thing. It's like the people who wear their pearls and like grab them and be like, like, you know, I can't believe you would say such a thing like that.
You know,
that's the
grandmas in their Sunday best.
Exactly. You know, coming out of church and being like, oh my gosh, how could you? How could you is the best way
when
to
they see a goth mommy walking down the street.
We'll talk about botched the Wookie told a joke about botched surgeries to Ben. That's dark. I'm a little worried about our Wookie. He's crazy. All right, fellas, what else do you have on your mind? We're gonna wrap up here soon. Because the RimWorld, I haven't really like done anything really progressive. I've just kind of been letting them hang out. The two of them are idle because they don't have any work to do. Because I haven't. Really
you know, how did we do on wrangling their livestock?
We failed miserably because we don't have any of them. So that's how it goes. And the thing with wrangling livestock is like you have to. We don't have any. We don't have like we gotta make some kibble for them to try to do it. Okay, so we're gonna go to our butcher table.
Yeah. It helps to have kibble when you're rolling an animal handling check.
You're absolutely right. We're going to do we're going to make sure we always have like 20 kibble on hand so that we can do stuff like that. All right, good to know. So anyway, so they're going to make some meat. They're going to take some kibble. So that'll help with our taming efforts. But yeah, I think maybe getting a muffalo will be one of our big goals for the next episode to get things moving. We kind of stabilized in this one. We got the farm going, which is good. We got our power on, so we've got like good.
We got a slave.
We don't have a slave, Jared. We added someone. We added Tormund. We added Tormund. We added Tormund. You named him after all, and he's doing important research for us now, so that we can learn how to use batteries. We added him, but we do need to. Oh, now that we have this bench actually here, I'm gonna do this really quick before we go. We need to make him We're gonna make him, and this is small for me even. We're going to make him we don't have do we have hyperweave? I don't think we have like materials for this, but we're going to make him a robe. So he has something to wear.
Make him a loincloth.
Yeah. Well, no, I think we can do a little bit better than that, but we're going to try to make a Jedi robe. Cause like I said, we have our Star Wars mods installed, but we can make you can make him like Ewok clothes. Actually, that might.
Speaking of Star Wars, they announced that the High Republic stories will continue.
I saw that. I did see that. Yeah. So
that's exciting.
It'll be interesting to see how that turns out. Yeah.
I need to catch up on High Republic.
Yeah,
they did a really good job with it.
Here. I've done 2 of the 3.
Yeah, I loved Phase 1. Oh my god.
Yeah, Phase 1 has been fun. Oh, we got a Muffalo. There we go, boys. This is how we're gonna. Muffalo 1. All right. What are we gonna look at him? There he goes.
Look at that.
He's getting
to the pen.
He's getting brought back to the pen. So, Muffalo 1. I think we can rename him.
Boss, Big Boss, or is it a girl?
I gotta see if we can.
If it's a girl,
that's a good question. It is a male. It is a male Muffalo.
So Hoss, Big Hoss.
Hoss. Okay, let me see if I can rename him.
I already named something, but let Brady name him.
No. Oh yeah, that's true. Brady, what do we want to name our first Muffalo? I'm assuming I actually can't rename him. I'm not even sure if I can. We're gonna find out. He's just Muffalo Run right now.
Well, I'm gonna defer back to Jared.
God damn it, you guys are. It's all right. We'll save that for next time. How's that? Because I think I got to figure out how to name him anyway. Because it's not as simple as like a click, as far as I'm seeing here. Records. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll look it up. But that's exciting. We have our first tamed animal, so we can start down that path. What's important is if we can get the other one, if we can get a female tamed and have 2 Muffalo in there, you know what that means, Jared? We can free range shoot the rest of these and get the fur and the meat. So that's what that means.
Furry meat is
Because
good.
winter is coming, folks. It's the middle of Juggist.
It's coming.
Winter is
It's
coming.
not just a saying. The Starks are always right.
They're always right. But in this game, winter gets fucking real because shit goes down, and we have a bear hanging outside the base, so that's gonna.
I don't think you've ever told us what your house of choice would be, Steve.
In Game of Thrones. That's a great question. All right, that's what we'll end on.
Because we all know I love me Greyjoys. I don't know why.
You crazy bastard.
We do not sell, bro. We do not sell.
I don't like being hot, so like Stark would be a good one, but Stark is like so cliche. I don't like heights, so House Aaron would be tough. The Lannisters suck. I don't know. I feel like somewhere in the Reach wouldn't be bad. You know, I could lay low somewhere in the Reach. You know, I could. You know, the Tyrells aren't like the worst people in the world. All things considered. So I think I would go. I think I'd hang out. I like green. So yeah, I think I'd be somewhere under House Tyrell.
I would have picked you for either Tully or Mormont.
So I'm allergic to fish. So Tully's no good. Mormont's a good one. Mormont's a pretty good one because I like the cold and so being up north would be good. But I think again, I mean Marjorie seems like a really nice lady. And I like green. She does. And the weather seems okay down there. It's not like too hot. We're not talking like Dorne hot, I guess. And we're not talking like Stormlands like weather or like Baratheon, whatever the fuck we call their area. Storm's End. That's what I was looking for. But yeah, that's my answer. What about So you said you're Greyjoy, Brady?
Would it be cheating to say like I'm not a person with a house?
Yes, it would be cheating to say that. Pick a damn
but
house,
I feel like
Brady.
Do you really want to be a commoner in Game of Thrones?
I feel. I mean,
it doesn't end well for them often, especially towards the end.
Yeah, that's what I mean. See, that's you have to take that sacrifice if you're still a commoner. Because like I think for me, like just knowing my family's background, we're kind of like commoners as well, and yeah, we come from nothing.
Brady says JMB.
You know what it is? Brady's coming to us from this free city of Bravos.
There you go. Okay, there you go, Brady. Just say Pentos, Bravo, something like that. Okay, yeah. You're on the other side of the ocean there. That's fine. If that's your jazz, then I get it. I'm good with that. Essos, yeah. You're just free agent. Okay, fair enough. I dig that. That's a whole different vibe. I dig that. All right. Well, boys, I am going to wrap things up here in the RimWorld. I'm going to hit save. And we'll come back. I haven't done a lot of progressing here, but we're gonna get like thick. We're gonna do some new stuff next time. Now that we're steady, like we're not just actively dying and everything. We can do some fun stuff now. We have our first Muffalo. We can kind of start to. We have a refrigerator. We can start to crank up the excitement a little bit.
Yeah, we got a house and everything.
Yeah, no, we have a prison. You know what I mean? Like we've got. We have a whole area under here to like expand to. This is going to become something. We're going to build this out eventually. So we've got some fun stuff to do. But I also, aside from like RimWorld though, like I'm down to play other stuff too. So I'd love to hear like other suggestions for things people want to play.
Roller Coaster Tycoon.
I would probably do Parkitect as just like a modern version of that because it's the same fucking thing. So yeah, and that would be a good one. Do like a blather park, something like that.
Or better yet, you do like a Madden game. But the chat gets to pick all your plays.
Okay, so a Madden game would be good. Chat picking all of the plays is a little ambitious.
Or
maybe
doing whatever you got on the calls or something like that.
Yeah, right. Ranger Donald said his house is Targaryen. Ranger Donald, you're gonna need to explain that next time. So I didn't see that early enough, but yeah.
Look,
Ranger
if you've been listening to
Targaryen,
Ranger Donald since the Daily Thrones days, you could have seen that one coming.
That's fair. Okay, that's understandable. No, but I think
Tully wants Zelda.
Ooh, Tully wants Zelda. Okay, here's the thing.
I would want to see you do Link to the Past.
Well, I could actually probably do that on PC. That's the thing, because I could probably emulate that.
That's my favorite Zelda.
I would have to do some setup magic to be able to to be able to stream Zelda on my Switch totally. Just because the way I have everything set up right now, like my capture card is plugged into my computer, my Switch is over here. It's a whole thing.
So that's why we go retro with Link to the Past.
Right, and I love Link to the Past. Oh man, Link to the Past.
I
Link's
think it's the best Zelda game they've ever made.
God, I need to play Link to the Past.
Oh, have you played any of the like retro Zelda games, Brady?
Yeah, I've played almost every Zelda except Link to the Past. I played Link Between Worlds. Like I just need Link to the Past.
Link to the Past was always my favorite. It had good gameplay mechanics. The storyline was just long enough to keep you engaged. The double world aspect. Going back to that top end.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a double. Okay, so I
there's the regular world and there's dark.
Yeah, and then there's like the dark world or the mirror world, or whatever. Yeah. Yep. And it's like it's the map, but it's like inverted, and it's all this. Like it was such a revolutionary thing. Like when it came out, like it was such a big deal that they were like, oh my gosh, there's 2 maps in Zelda now. Like it was so cool.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It was, and then Bunny Link.
Yep. Bunny Link. Anyway. So yeah, no, I would be down to do that. There's some other stuff like I think Madden or like some kind of sports game would be fun just because there's that element of like
actually would it be possible
around
to get NBA Jam?
You could probably emulate it, but yeah, I mean that would be more of a so the game that would be more of like just like a touch and go, just like play like one game. Like I'm looking for something more. It's like like with RimWorld we can like continue the story episode to episode, right? With like a traditional sports game. With like if I do college football or Madden, we could like follow the Coach Steve go through the season and everything like that, and we could definitely incorporate some community stuff. But no, we'll find some stuff like that. We'll find some stuff where we can bring people in. JMB is begging us to play Vermintide, and I do have it, so that he may be able to.
Or we'll get Steve to play Skyrim.
I have Skyrim. If you guys want to watch me play Skyrim,
I've never completed Skyrim.
I'm in the middle of Skyrim right now.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of the Oblivion remaster.
Yeah.
The thing with games like that, the games like that are too big for me. I don't know what to do. Like every time I've tried to replay Skyrim, I get to that first major city. Was it Whiterun or something?
Yep.
The real big city.
Whiterun. Yeah.
It's kind of.
And then you just get ADD and go in 10 different directions. That's the beauty of the game, though. That's the beauty of the game. But yeah, you do need to finish the main story at least once just to kind of know how it all goes down. Because you can do all the side stuff afterwards after you complete the game.
Dude,
so
I had the DLC version, like the Game of the Year version.
Yeah.
And I made the mistake of starting the DLC quest without knowing that it was a DLC quest. So now every time I defeat a dragon, it gets stolen from me. I'm just like, damn it.
That's too funny. All right, fellas. Well, I appreciate you guys hanging out. We went a lot later than I was expecting to. 12:51. I thought we were going to end a little closer to 12:30 Eastern. But Jared, you got me over 3 hours, so congratulations. Right. You're still 45 minutes out from a 4-hour stream, but there's no chance in hell we're doing that today.
Like I said, I passed out between Blathering and Backstage. That's why I was like, oh shit, it's like 10:30.
Oh yeah, no. So you got a good little power nap in. It's fine. No, Addy carried you through to that. So Addy was our first half. You got us here in the second half. Brady was here was with us here the whole way and called in and brought up the rear. So that's all.
The amount of shit Addy puts up with us from us.
She does. She puts up a lot, but she has fun too. So I think she enjoys it. But we all have fun. That's why we love this place. That's why I love hanging out with you guys. The community Ken's made has been awesome. So I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you again, Brady. Thank you again, Jared. I hope you guys join me the next time we have a Backstage. Thank you so much.
Sounds like a plan, brother.
Yeah. All right,
you guys stay safe.
I will talk to you soon. And thank you, everyone who's been watching and hanging out while we played some RimWorld. Look at me. My hair is a mess. I'm sweating. That's what happens after like 3 hours or so. The lights around here just like start to bake the shit out of me. And I get a little delirious. So anyway, we didn't make as much progress in RimWorld tonight as I wanted to. We just kind of, like I said, we got stabilized. We kind of got our shit together. So I think the next time we dive in, we'll really be able to do like some fun stuff and kind of get out of the box and go a little crazier. But we had to, gotta get through the boring stuff first. That's kind of what it's about. But thank you then to everyone who called in. Thank you so much to Addie for her Hamilton report and just hanging around. Thank you for Jared. Thank you for Brady. Thank you for Ethan. If I forgot anyone else who called in, but tell the folks about the Backstage. I would love to get some more people in here just to come and hang out and experience and join this awesome community we've got. It's great. So thank you for hanging out. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your evening. If you're watching live, it's certainly late on the East Coast, so I'm going to go Betty bye. But if you're watching later on, thank you for checking it out. Please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, share it if you're feeling excited about it. We'd love that. That's very kind. But thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Hope you have a great time, and see you soon. Thanks.